Okay, the show has officially started. I hope that you put your things away and you're ready to do this thing right here.
Air guitar! What's up, YouTube? Welcome to House Show Live, where we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We got a lot of stuff to break down today. We're talking about that She-Hulk trailer. That's right. We're not going to have to guess the pronoun. It's She-Hulk, attorney at law. And we're going to be talking about that Predator prequel trailer, Prey. Pray for Prey. We're praying that Hulu doesn't mess this up. And then we also are going to be talking about the big controversy going on in WWE right now with Sascha and Naomi walking out. And then we're going to be talking about that Danhausen debut. And then we got a surprise guest back in the studio. Mario, do you want to give him the proper introduction?
Yes, back by popular demand. Namely, my mom, who thought he was a great guest and a nice young man, and we should have him on again. Matty's on the show today.
What's up?
Hey, what's up, Matty?
Hey, Mario's mom. Just for you. Yeah. Thanks for encouraging him to have me back. So glad to be here, boys.
And we got the new set for you.
Yeah.
So now you got your actual face on here.
Cool graphic too.
Yes, we got the good graphic for you.
Sweet.
So we're gonna need that. I know we've been toying with nicknames before. When we weren't sure who you were gonna be, we put Matty the Mask because nobody saw who you were. So you're kind of masked by not having a camera.
I wasn't sure if I needed to be behind the mask first. I had to try it out, see how it went.
Yeah. So, but we got a good segment for you.
Wait, Matt, you've got a new gimmick though, right?
He does have
A gimmick. Yeah, we'll have to maybe see that
You
later.
want to talk about it? All right.
Later in the show, maybe.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll bring that up.
We have a new
Yeah.
gimmick because we know you are. Is it fair to call you a master fisherman?
There's a joke somewhere there, but we won't go there. Not master, but I do dabble in the art of kayak bass fishing.
Oh, so it's specific just for bass.
Just for bass, just for kayaks.
Bass that ass in that kayak.
I like it. I like it.
All right, cool. So we got some good stuff coming up. So what do you? I really want to jump right into. Speaking of the bass that ass, I really want to jump into that She-Hulk trailer. I'm a huge freaking mark for Hulk and She-Hulk, but She-Hulk especially. And the trailer to me looked really sweet. We just watched it. What did you guys think?
I loved it. Amped.
Murray, the sour that I saw a little bit out there, the sour beer, if you will, was that the graphics may or may not be ready yet. Like maybe she's like a thirst-trapped Gumby, if you will. I don't know if that's true. Can we say Gumby on this show? Do people know who Gumby is?
I do. I'm definitely the youngest one in the room, and I at least know who Gumby is.
You know who Gumby is?
Yes,
I'm
of course.
Gumby, damn it. But I don't know. I think it looked really good. I mean, Hulk always had that. So if you have not seen the trailer yet, hit pause, jump over, watch the trailer, jump back in. We are going to be talking about spoilers on this show. We're going to be talking about spoilers on the trailer, or at least what's in the actual trailer itself. So
Did y'all hear that looping playback? Sorry,
I did hear that.
Yeah.
I was trying to track that down. I was like, "What's going on?" Okay,
yeah, I did hear it, and I was just like,
Okay.
that's why I was just kind of yammering there for a little bit.
problem solved. Yes, okay,
Problem
good.
solved.
Loopity
So,
loops.
so what do you want to, Mario? What do you think? What were your thoughts on the She-Hulk Attorney at Law trailer?
Okay, so I've never read the She-Hulk comic. I don't really know much about it. Apparently, it's a popular title. You said you like it, right?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
At first glance, it didn't really appeal to me. I don't know. It seems like I'm not sure who the audience is for that. Like I'm thinking of the typical MCU fan, and it's like, is that for them? I'm not sure.
Do you think they're going to have trouble? Because for whatever reason, to me, if you go to DC, it's Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman. But when you go to Marvel, pre-Marvel Cinematic Universe, it was always Spider-Man and Hulk. I do not know why Hulk could never get traction in the theater. I mean, obviously, Bill Bixby, they still talk about his show in the 70s. Hulk always caught traction on TV. They tried it with Eric Bana, didn't catch traction, right? And then they tried it with Edward Norton, and I thought it did well, but it's one of the lowest growing Marvel movies. And then they recast into Mark Ruffalo, man. He's a good Hulk. I think he's a really good Hulk. I mean, he adds a little bit more humor to it. So I don't know. Why does the Hulk have trouble catching traction because I see Mario's reaction, and I think She-Hulk might feel that too. Is she going to have trouble? I saw this, and I'm like, cool. I love Jessica Jones on Netflix.
Yeah.
I think they can get that vibe. She's going to be the head lawyer at a law firm for superhumans. So it's a slam dunk to get Daredevil in there too. So it's like prime for cameos. You don't have to spend the time to rebuild the history and the attachment because obviously she's the Hulk cousin. He's like, hey, cuz, being a superhero is a big deal. So you don't even have to build a backstory. You're getting right into the meat of the story, and she looks great. So I think it's got a huge potential, but I'm worried about the Hulk PR issue that we've dealt with in the past. What do you guys think?
I mean, for me, I definitely appreciated that it was more character development and kind of plot storyline development in the trailer, right?
Yes.
I feel like a lot of times they give away all the special effects, all of the big scenes in those trailers, and kind of makes the movie a little less exciting, possibly. So I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. They took the time to actually build the backstory, right? Because you're going to need an origin story. And in the comic book, the origin story was Jennifer. She got into a car accident. Hulk was her cousin. Blood transfusion to save her life, and then he transferred his powers to her that way. So I think they already jumped into that right in the trailer. You saw the car crash, and then you saw him training her on the island on how to be Hulk. So
My concern is this going to be an 8-episode series about She-Hulk trying to find a date? Or like She-Hulk on Tinder, and we've got a whole scene where it's like she's making her Tinder profile and awkwardly taking photos, and you know what I mean?
I mean, we all know Netflix has enough dating shows as it is, so we don't need another one.
Don't need. I think that was their way of leaning into fun, right? Because Marvel is supposed to be fun. Loki, it came out in the Disney upfronts. Loki was the highest streamed Disney Plus show for Marvel, hands down. And what separates Loki from everybody else was, even though he's a villain, he's fun. People enjoy him. The next highest streamed show was WandaVision, and even though it had a dark undertone of dealing with loss and depression, the whole gimmick with the sitcoms made it fun. I think they're starting to really need maybe we need to lean into the fun because Falcon and Winter Soldier was not as fun. Hawkeye was a little bit more fun, and I think they saw some steam. Moon Knight struggled because Moon Knight, they hardly showed Moon Knight. They had trouble going into his backstory, and it didn't feel as fun as it should have. I think that's why
I gotta throw in a well actually, because we always gotta hashtag the fact that WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier probably didn't get finished.
No,
those were sort of like because of the pandemic and everything. Mm-hmm. Because here's the thing, man. I don't know if you knew this. Falcon Winter Soldier, when it was about to come out, had a huge pandemic storyline.
Oh, yeah. No go.
Yeah, so they went ahead and rewrote the whole show and reshot it.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense.
So I just think you always got to keep that in mind when you're comparing to those like asterisk shows. I think Hawkeye was pretty fun.
Hawkeye was very fun. I feel like that's going to be a show that you can visit annually because it had that is Lethal Weapon a Christmas movie feel to it.
It had very Lethal Weapon.
Ooh, okay. I need to watch this. I have not seen Hawkeye. So.
It's really good. Yeah. I think it was one of their better shows. It was their best ground level hero show, right? Because Loki started getting into timelines and teased the multiverse, teased their big bad with Kang, where Hawkeye was more about this is the street level heroes, right? The street level heroes that came from Netflix, which is, Jessica Jones, Hawkeye, he fits into that Daredevil, Punisher, he fits into that world. And they
Luke Cage kind of thing,
exactly. So,
yeah.
I don't know if you want any spoilers. There was big spoilers in
No,
there.
I mean, obviously, do what you feel is appropriate, but no, I'm definitely
spoilers
down to watch
what?
it.
So. In Hawkeye, to me, that was a huge spoiler. The big bad in Hawkeye was a big...
right.
That was a big spoiler.
Gotcha.
No, let's leave it. Let Matt enjoy that.
I have some homework to do, I think, before my next appearance on the show.
That is a fun one. So, JJ, picked up on that too. Mike did as well. It's just like the whole... people are going to struggle with the CGI. But they have till August 7th. So we know the shows, sometimes they get very Trey and Matt in South Park, where it's like, we delivered it an hour before it aired.
Yeah.
I think they're going to still be working. I think they're going to be cleaning up that CGI before August.
Well, and you also have to realize all of the CGI studios are still probably reeling from the pandemic to some degree, right?
Yeah.
And catch up is definitely a thing. So that could be a factor too. I don't know, but definitely a factor to consider. So
I think so. So Mike was saying the trailer feels more Hawkeye than She-Hulk is Kate and Hulk is Hawkeye. It's good you're going to have that Avenger mentor of basically leading this next generation, because they have to start really building up this next generation of heroes now that, their big two with, Iron Man and Captain America being gone. They need to elevate. This would be the idea of a main event wrestler giving the mid card or the curtain jerk the rub to make them main event level, because they have to carry the show.
Right.
The show must go on. And if you saw Doctor Strange, obviously Wanda has been very, very elevated. It's very debatable if she's now elevated to uber villain but she's, to me, like, wow, they teased it in Endgame that she could beat Thanos, but now there's probably no doubt that she can beat Thanos. So they raised her up. They wanted to raise up, Falcon. They wanted to raise him up to, Captain America level. I don't think they succeeded with that. I think they do need to raise up She-Hulk to make it, to have her become that next level hero. They need to raise up.
Who does She-Hulk fight? Who's her adversary in the comics?
So I don't know the actual adversary in there, because it's very much to where you get she's defending all these different different villains in the show, so it's going to depend. There was one the main villain that was in there. Well, we saw the big tease in this was also Abomination was in there, and he was actually in there as himself, so he did find a way to transform back to his mortal self. So I think either he's going to be the big bad or he's going to be the Hannibal Lecter of the show.
Mike says Titania. Who's that?
Titania, yeah, that's who it was. They showed her just for a split second in the trailer. Let me pull that up.
if it was only for a split second, that says a little bit about not having that CGI done for sure, right?
Yeah, exactly.
If they wouldn't
That's
highlight
what I
that
was
more.
thinking.
So I'd imagine most of those scenes are quite CGI'd.
It
So,
looked like they were hiding his face in the trailer.
Yeah.
They sort of like cut away from Hulk's face pretty quick. So
Yeah.
which is no slight. Whatever, they're working on the effects. That's fine. Finish the effects. That's good. I got no heat with that. But the effects did look kind of not finished to me.
No. And to me, the big tease in there too, right? They teased Abomination in Shang-Chi, but now you saw Emil Blonsky. You saw Tim Roth there in the new prison where they're keeping him. So obviously he was used the same way to become Hulk that Hulk did. So I think it's a slam dunk that he's either... But in Shang-Chi, they kind of made it seem like he had some kind of quasi-babyface turn because he was working with Wong to win some money when he was staging those fights. So I don't know if he's going to be more of just like that, like I said, that Hannibal-esque mentor that she's going to have to find a way to defend who technically her cousin was a mortal enemy with, even though we know it wasn't our buddy Mark Ruffalo. That was the Edward Norton one, but he didn't have the fish ears in that. So I don't know. It remains to be seen, but I'm psyched for it. If that's all, if story-wise it looks solid, they have a little bit to clean up with the CGI, but in the last second they're gonna do it. There's no way they're gonna release that not ready.
I mean, they've already dumped so much money into it, they can't not finish it, and make it right. So
cool. And the other big trailer that dropped this week, which was a quick one, quicker than a hiccup, but Disney, again, I don't know if this had to do with their upfronts, was the Predator prequel that I didn't even know was happening, Prey. What did you guys think of Prey?
I liked it. Good intro.
That
for sure.
was
Solid teaser.
Yeah.
The big, huge tease.
How a teaser should be done. Not, 3 minutes of here's every scene you're going to see in the movie.
Yeah. No, there was nothing there other than you knew that Predator is now hunting, I don't know if it's Comanche, Native American hunting,
Right.
which people are like, oh, how are they going to do that? Where you need like modern day weapons. But if you remember at the end of Predator, Arnold Schwarzenegger did not, he actually used, mud, sticks. He beat him with sticks and stones.
Right.
He didn't beat him with his weapons. He got hardcore. So I like the idea that basically these Native Americans are going to have to find a way to use their what they have in front of them to beat this high tech.
And I'm
hunter.
sure their collective, hunting and skills of weaponry, too,
Right?
Right? Because
Arnold beat that first Predator with a bow and arrow, if you recall.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
There
He
you
got
go.
it was all gritty. He found out that mud worked. I mean, he I think it's going to be good. But the question is, it's called Prey. Is there a chance that the hunter becomes the hunted, and Predator is now being hunted by this tribe, and he's the prey?
love it. That would be an awesome twist.
I feel like you're
Set up
spoiling the
well.
plot of the show right
Yeah.
now.
I don't know. It's just like, why was it called Prey?
Yeah.
I mean, I know they just wanted to go something different. How did you guys feel about the Alien versus Predator movies? I wanted them to be way better than they were. I do remember enjoying the first one, but
Yeah.
not the second one, not so much.
I'm the exact opposite. I didn't like the first one, but I liked the second
You
one.
liked the second one?
Yeah.
What was it about the second one that you liked better?
It just seemed more like a straightforward action movie. Like the first one had ancient Egypt and hieroglyphics and all this kinds of stuff. And I liked
Yeah.
how I think in the second one, Predator just landed at the mall and then just went to some neighborhood and was running amok. I like that. I like that premise better.
Yeah, I can see that. I think they probably started to get a little bit too into the whole lore of it, of how they got there, versus just like our imagination already told us that where it is. But
This isn't Jurassic Park. We don't need all that set up.
yeah, we don't need it. It's just like bingo, dino DNA. That's all we need. But I feel like Predators had a few turns at bat, and well, I guess so has Alien, but Predator, because Robert Rodriguez, right, his cousin Nimrod, he directed the one Predators, right? That was plural. Did you guys see that? The Robert Rodriguez executive produced Predators.
Yeah, I saw it. It was fine, I guess. I don't know.
It could have been way better.
It wasn't too memorable to me.
It was great setup. It was great setup, and I liked the characters and the different characters. Just like, okay, wow, this is cool. The Yakuza versus Predator. I'm in. Let's figure this out. And it really didn't do it. It was no different than Mario. What's our Native American from the '80s? Billy. He was in 48 Hours, right?
Sonny Ladham.
Yeah. So he basically had that scene in Predator where like, oh man, he's gonna go. He's cutting himself. Let's do this. And then he's like, Wilhelm scream, and then that's it. So he was done. I kind of felt like that with Robert's Predators with the Yakuza. I feel like it didn't really deliver that much.
I mean, honestly, the first one is one of the greatest action films of all time. It's one of the tightest scripts for an action film ever. It's one of the best scripts ever written, of that genre. It's kind of untoppable. It's like Terminator. You can't really top the first two Terminators. You can't come back because those were sort of one movie, right? So I think the first Predator was so good, you just can't capture that magic. Can't capture Predator, can't capture Ghostbusters. Some things only happen once, and if you missed it, it's over.
Yeah.
Truth.
And what about the Predator that came out in 2018 with Olivia Munn?
I didn't have a lot of heat with it. I thought it was okay. The ending sucked because, they had to dump their original ending because Arnold wouldn't do it. Did you know about this?
No, I did not know about
It was
that.
supposed to be Arnold cameo at the end.
Really?
Yes, the original Dutch. And so they were trying to get him, and then Arnold was like he needed a bigger role, and like it just ended up not working out, and they tagged on that weird ending where they've got a Predator suit for humans.
Oh,
It didn't make any sense.
yeah, you're right. I don't think anything's catching on, and I think Aliens is kind of facing that same thing where it's just like it's all fine, but it's just not really catching on. The closest they had was that first Prometheus, because I felt like that was changing a little bit because you were getting deeper into the lore of it, but then it just turned into like another Alien movie, and then it really, I don't know, it just didn't do well at the box office. I remember seeing them. I remember not having a big problem with them, but I also don't remember saying I need to see that again. So
Can I hijack the podcast for a
Hijack
second?
it.
So we're talking about stuff that we saw. I forgot to bring this up. Did you see there's a show on Hulu that Joe Bob is involved with?
No, I did not.
Or he's not really involved with, but it's about a murder in Texas, and he wrote the original article about that murder.
No.
It's called Candy.
What?
Yeah, I ended up watching the whole series this past weekend. It's only like 6 episodes. It was pretty good.
Oh, I had no idea.
Yeah, he's got a screen credit. Anyway,
Jessica Biel?
Jessica Biel's in it. What is her name? I forget the actress's name.
Melanie Linsky.
Melanie Linsky, who's in a bunch of stuff right now.
Schreiber. Is he related to Liv? Pablo?
I have no idea.
Schreiber?
Anyway, that's pretty good. Candy.
Nice.
It's on Hulu.
Nice.
Candy, which
Writing
premiered
that
Monday, tells the true story of the brutal murder that shook the close-knit town in 1980, where Gore's brutalized body with 41 axe wounds unraveled a spiderweb of infidelity and expectations. And Joe Bob wrote that art. Yeah, because you forget he was a journalist in Dallas. That's where he got his start, right? Just not only just doing like movie reviews, but just...
Yeah, he invented the Joe Bob persona because he wouldn't get work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know that either.
Yeah.
We should do a whole history on him.
Let's just get him on the show.
We could, right? We can zoom him in. We can have him come in here. He likes cats. Do you like cats? Do you like tacos? Do we have a show for you? Cool. Well, what do you guys want to do now? You want to drink some? Should we drink some beer? You want to jump into some weird beers?
Oh yeah, I'm into weird beers. Matt, you into weird beers?
Yeah, let's get a drink. All right.
Real quick.
You're getting it? Or I'm gonna get it. You getting them?
Real quick, let me. Oh wait, I'm cutting.
Oh, there we go.
All right.
Sorry,
Matt threw me off because he jumped out of his seat. Matt's so helpful, he immediately jumped up to grab the weird beers. Here, let's hear from Stroh's real quick, and
All right,
we'll come
we'll
back
get
for
some
weird
glasses. BRB.
This bartender's next big league pitcher and loves to serve fire brewed Strohs. See what I mean? That was his fastball. That was the curve. Look out. Wild pitch.
What was that?
Relief pitcher.
Stroh's and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother taste.
Can you believe it? JT with an $18 million contract?
Sure is a long way from the playground.
Think he still drinks Strohs?
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
JT, Mr. Millionaire.
Richard. Timothy.
This is all right.
Glad he didn't forget his friend.
Or Strohs. Where is the Strohs?
Out by the pool.
The pool?
Strohs and Stroh Light.
Now that's a cooler.
Fire brewed for smoother taste.
All right. Just hearing that little jingle makes me thirsty. Makes me thirsty for more. So I took off the gimmick glasses, put on the real gimmick glasses, so we can talk about our first weird beer. Now, the question is first, before you do this, is this a Matt beer or is this a Primo beer?
I haven't seen which one it is.
Oh, okay.
So it's all opened and poured, so I'm not sure.
All
wait,
right.
no, that's a work beer. Okay.
This is a work beer?
Yeah.
So this is Texas Dripping Springs. This is family business. Around beer, your family.
Put it in the close shot there.
Golden.
There you go.
Oh, let me switch it up with the Oomph Cola.
Make it family with that Smuckers there.
That's right. Right next to the Goober. Because family. There we go. That way we can get a nice screenshot of that. So,
That's excellent framing, dude.
all
Way to go.
All right, so this is a Texas beer. It is what's this sucker pack in here? Dripping Springs. That's a good sign. Great American's 4.5 alcohol level. So
little low, I guess.
It's a little low,
Just-
but it's
just
okay.
a nail.
So all right, so we already did pop the beer, so we can't gimmick the pop. So we're just gonna drink it. But I'm gonna get you get the close up so you can see. We do actually have some official glasses now. So check that out.
We need to get the Poncho logo drawn on
You're
these.
drawn on there, that's right.
Because, we just needed some smaller ones. But, yeah.
Yeah, this works. All right, boys. Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Here we go. Family business. Wait. Family.
I just think Vin Diesel, right? Fast and Furious.
Family.
To family.
You can have any beer
Salute me, family.
as long as it's a Corona. What an asshole thing to say to your friends. Don't you think so?
I think so.
Wouldn't you hate to have a friend who you just go to their house and they just demand you drink Corona always?
Well, I mean, the dude beat somebody with a wrench, right? So you're not really gonna say no to him.
Yeah.
I mean,
That would be the flashback, right? When they're like, "What kind of beer you want?" It should be Corona, right? And then they flash back to the wrench beating, like, "Yeah, Corona's great."
the one time someone asked for a Dos Equis, no more face.
I gotta ask you a question, Jeff. Would you like to be friends with Dominic Toretto? You think he'd be a good friend?
Oh man. Well, the maybe the actor. I mean, not the actor, but maybe the character. Maybe he could be, but he's gonna get you in trouble. There's trouble because trouble follows him. But he's one of those guys that he's really hard to win over. But once you win it over, he will help you bury the body, and he will probably help you create the body.
Yeah, maybe a couple more bodies along the way.
Yeah. What, you don't want to be his friend?
I don't know. He'd be like that friend that shows up with Corona all the time, and you always have to drink Corona. You're forced to drink Corona and pretend you like it.
Yeah, and his good-looking little sister hits on you, and you're like, I don't want to touch that.
Yeah.
Nope, don't. No, thank you. No, thank you.
And you're getting shot at.
Yeah.
Right? But then you're getting in street races for your life. It's just like, we're going to race. The price is your soul, but don't worry, we're going to win.
The 10-second car, which is slow by today's standards.
Yeah, I don't. But as far as like Vin Diesel, he seems like he should be cool, right? Because he's a Dungeons and Dragons guy. He's I'm a nerd at heart. I'm not this guy. But then, how do you not get along with The Rock? He doesn't get along with The Rock. There's nobody else in Hollywood that can make that claim.
I mean, I could see how just with the Fast and Furious franchise, right? That was his franchise. And then they had to bring The Rock in after R.I.P. Mr. Paul Walker passed, right?
Yeah.
Just to save the series. So,
Well, if you think about it, The Rock, they called The Rock franchise Viagra, so that meant Vince Diesel was a limp dick.
That's true.
yep. I mean, we've all seen the meme, right? Of Vin Diesel shirtless on a yacht. Still better than with a shirt and no yacht. Okay. So, you know.
So maybe he didn't like the connotation that the media said that Vin Diesel, his
The
movies
Rock.
needed Viagra.
He needed Viagra.
Right.
But do you remember Fast and Furious, which was part 4?
Yeah. I mean,
Not so good.
there's so many of them. Just
Yeah.
so many of them. So.
I mean, Tokyo Drift is good, but Tokyo Drift was a spin-off standalone. But the next one that actually brought back the crew, the quad, the 4, didn't do so well. It was Fast 5 when they had The Rock. That's when they was like, hey, we can make this more of like a caper.
Well, in 4 too, correct me if I'm wrong, that's when they had to do a lot of CGI to finish the movie. Because Paul Walker had passed and they
No,
his
that
brothers
was
did.
that was
Or was
like
that 5?
7.
yeah, that was.
Oh, was that 7?
Yeah, that
Oh,
was later.
man. See, again, I've seen them all multiple times, but they all blend together. So,
But we
there you
had
go.
this. I think we did this on one of our past shows. That it. Yeah, they all do blend together.
Yeah. I
Didn't
mean,
we
the
do-
first one is quintessential, right? Like nobody had done street racing and, putting speed in a car on the Cinemax screen like that movie did, right? And that was groundbreaking.
Well, that was because like the first one was about souping up your Honda to steal
Hey,
VCRs.
it was a Mitsubishi that he souped up. The Hondas were for the heists.
But they were literally stealing VCRs, and that was the caper. And then I don't know what part they're on, but they were in space.
yeah,
Yeah,
They're in
Yeah,
space now. They went from VCRs to
Yeah.
space.
9 was space.
As soon as Ja Rule, right? Yeah, as soon as Ja Rule got involved,
But he's
go space.
Here's the thing, and this is the hot take. Don't you think that they were trying to basically, if you're walking in and pitching this, this is Point Break with cars, and everybody loves Point Break, right? Everyone loves Point Break. I didn't see the remake, but don't you think that was the angle they were going for?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
But then they just
It's pretty much the same story with VCRs.
VCRs in space.
But yeah, and so they did get a new director, right? What's his name? Justin. What's his name?
Justin Lin, but he's directed like 5 or 6 of them.
Yeah, so he's out, right? He's not doing the last 2, and
Yeah, now they got Louis Leterrier or something, and he directed. I think he did the first Incredible Hulk.
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was with Nicolas Cage as Absorption Man. That was Yeah.
No. It was the one with Abomination.
Oh, with Edward Norton?
Yeah.
He directed that one?
He directed that one.
Oh, not the Eric Bana one?
Then, hey, that might be a good sign. I don't know. I like that one, that Hulk. So
Again, I don't,
that was just my nostalgic one that I grew up with.
we can jump back, but I had no problems. I had no heat with all the Hulk, any of the Hulk movies. I thought they all. Eric Bana won a little bit just because they didn't really have a fleshed out villain, but I had no problem with the Edward Norton Hulk.
Yeah.
At all. Why does the Edward Norton wasn't he rumored to come to Fast and Furious? Or is it sure. Maybe it's Keanu Reeves.
I couldn't see Keanu Reeves coming to that series. That would definitely be beneath him. Like, just especially when he just made the remark that he's been making the best movies of his entire career in the last couple of years.
100%
to then do
yes.
Fast and the Furious, that's a departure.
Yeah.
They got Jason Momoa now.
Is he?
Oh, yeah.
Jason Momoa's in the new Fast and Furious, and they got Jack Reacher as well.
Oh, really?
Or the guy who plays Jack Reacher on Amazon. Did you finish Reacher?
No, I did not. I mean, I'm a huge fan of that actor who plays him because in the Titans, not the cartoon version, the real life version, he was Hawk in that, and he was great. He was like a roid rager. And he just basically just like blunt force trauma was his superpower, just like roid rage and just like slam people. So I think that was perfect casting over Tom Cruise to play Reacher. But no, I have not watched it yet. But
It's excellent. You should make the time. It's
so
the feel good show of the year, literally. It's just a blast to watch that show.
I'm so behind on show because when I think I got some space, I'm still trying to finish Outer Range, which is really good with Thanos and that. I saw there's a season 2 of Russian Doll, and I was like, okay.
I started that.
Yeah, and I was just like, man, I enjoyed I love a good stuck in a time loop movie. So I was like, I gotta watch that. And freaking Barry's on, and Barry's one of those shows.
Ooh, did that come back?
It is back. Season 3 is back, and it is as good as it ever was. Just 3 episodes in, and I'm already like, this show is fantastic. I'm not surprised that he won. Bill Hader. Got to be a lover for Bill Hader because that
Mastermind.
guy, man, that is so good.
Yeah, always so good. I was watching some old SNL with my grandmother not too long ago, and it's just so good. Like, back there with Amy Poehler. And,
oh, yeah.
Like that was the good SNL days for sure.
Yeah.
Who is the Penteravit?
Pentaverte. Mike was just telling me about that. That is the new Mike Myers series on Netflix. There's a secret society that has been running the world since like the 1300s, and of course he's doing his like jumping around, playing different characters. But that's another show. It's on the list. And then at the same time we have, Stranger Things is going to be coming out. And the Umbrella Academy. Just when I think I got space to breathe and watch these other shows, I get pulled back into other shows these shows that are basically, must watch. Stranger Things is getting baller reviews. Like they had the first episode premiere and they said it's cinematic. It's so good. I don't know.
I'll believe it when I see it. Oh yes, we got a Primo beer on deck.
Oh, we got a Primo beer?
Yep.
All right, let's pull it up here. All right, thanks.
I don't know, man. Stranger Things is fine. I'll watch it. I'm very much right now in the market for new and original IPs,
Yeah.
I'm a little burned out on seeing the same stuff over and over. I kind of had an awakening when I saw The Northman. Just original content and things, I don't know, just original stories and ideas. I'm ready for all that. I'm ready to absorb some of that,
But they're not going to make it. At least like
The Northman?
No, I mean just finding that original content is just so, you got to get lucky.
It's risk, right? And studios
they just don't want to
risk. Yeah.
Like they just don't want to take that risk anymore. I think of freaking Weekend at Bernie's. I was like watching Weekend at Bernie's again. I was like, this is great. And what if you pitch that today? People like, this guy wants to pitch a movie about a guy being dead in the Hamptons for a weekend, and they're just like puppeteering him. But nobody's going to take that chance. But you're right. I mean, I think there's balance. You can find these good shows. Like, again, Outer Range is great. I don't think that's an IP to anything. It's a freaking Josh Brolin Western that he literally is a rancher in Wyoming, that he finds a black hole in the middle of his land and they don't know what it is. And that's the pitch.
That sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
I got to check that one out.
I'm loving it
Same.
so far. I'm 4 episodes in, and it just turned it in. The casting is good, and I'm like, wow, this is good. So yeah, I agree. When you have something like that, Severance is another one. But like the stuff,
So good.
Yeah, that was good.
yeah, when it comes when those original ones hit, they got to remember that these IPs, other than like the comic book stuff, like it came from an idea somewhere that it was an original idea. You can be the first. You don't have, but that's freaking Hollywood, man. Nobody wants to be first. Everybody wants to be second. You know, they're just not going to take any freaking chances. Been in meetings with that town. They're so freaking annoying because what's even worse is they won't tell you no. They're so full of shit. I love this. We're never going to make this. We're never going to see you again. We're never going to call you. I love this. It's like, screw you, man. Just say no.
I love it when you cut promos on Hollywood. They deserve it. They got it coming. It's time to change things around.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I'm really in the market for original stuff. I'll probably catch Stranger Things, but honestly, every season of Stranger Things is just a blur to me. I couldn't tell you what happened in any of the seasons. I have no idea. I don't even know really what the show's about.
I don't think I continued watching after the second.
Well, yeah, they had the sophomore slump. They definitely hit the sophomore slump. And the first one just hit all the nostalgia. I thought the third one was really good because they hit that. If you're growing up in the 80s with the shopping mall and that feel of the shopping mall, they hit that.
Yeah.
Right. So, but this one, they're really touching all nostalgia. But I mean, the Duffer Brothers, you got to get, I mean, it's a franchise now, but that was something that they took a chance with, and it doesn't always work. You know, they rolled the dice on it. So, but Netflix is a freaking heel right now. They are a freaking heel. They're laying people off.
Yeah.
They're finding ways to.
Are they doing layoffs?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They just cut some of their workforce.
They told everyone if you don't like our content, then you can leave. So,
Yeah.
I mean, the whole announcing that they're going to crack down on subscribers and introduce ads in the low tiers, like, that's just, you're cutting your legs off before you can even run. You know?
Well, now we know how it's going to happen, right? We saw it kind of happening with Blockbuster. Now, are we going to see it happen with Netflix? Because guess what? You're not the only streaming service around anymore. You know, all these other, you know, all the houses took their content back. So it is, might call it WWE management style. They're not really around to, you know, smell that. Guess what? You're not wearing deodorant. Your deodorant wore off. And you need somebody to be like, dude, it's not working anymore. You need to
Time
set this
to
up.
take a bath.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, the thing is with Netflix, and yes, Mike, I am going to see Top Gun. Definitely going to catch that. And even though it's not original IP, I got to see what what Maverick's doing 30 years later. But no, the thing about Netflix is they kind of they don't seem to have a lot of quality control on their stuff. It's just they're like spamming content almost, you know. You have Apple. Are you digging into the Apple library? Everything on Apple is really good.
Yeah.
Everything is quality control there. And I think that they really take their time and work stuff out. Everything is, I haven't found a dud on Apple, you know?
No,
I mean,
agree.
I think Netflix is just throw everything at the wall and see what sticks, you know? That's-
SNL had a great skit about that when there's just like the Netflix pitch meetings, and like as soon as they walk in, it's like, we're love it, go, and they're like throwing money at the guy as he's walking out the door, and so they lost all their properties, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and think of how many shows that would have never got off the ground if they didn't give them a full season, right? Whereas I feel like Netflix, here's 3 episodes, see if they like it, and then we're going to pull it, or at least announce that we're going to cancel it.
Stuff on Netflix feels stretched out. Like it could have been a movie and they stretch it into 4 episodes or something.
So Cowboy Bebop, I know that's a contentious Netflix one. The live action. Thoughts on that?
I'm a couple episodes in, but as soon as I heard that they didn't renew it for a season 2, I've been taking my time.
Yeah, I loved it. Of course, I'm a huge Bebop fan, which a lot of Bebop fans hated it. But I thought they did it really well. Johnny Chu was awesome.
Yeah, I thought the casting
so
was really good.
Yeah, casting was great. Cinematography was really good. And I was definitely disappointed that they did not finish the live action version of it. It's done. So.
I think the issue is, and Mike brought this up, Squid Games will be the new Netflix business model in 6 months. The dubbing layer of Crunchyroll is their future. I think the problem that people had with Cowboy Bebop was the same thing that they had with Death Note.
Yeah.
Because the storytelling in this anime, in the actual anime, is already geared towards adults. They don't gear this towards kids.
Right.
These are like this is adult content, but I think in the U.S., a lot of it's kind of worn off now, but we've come up in a generation where cartoons were for kids, right? That's what you watched on Saturday morning. So I think now we're seeing the reverse of that, where you have all these this younger demographic that already is like, this is great. You don't need to mess with it.
Yeah.
Why are you making it live action? And I had that debate about Death Note because I was like, that was actually really good. It's like, and they're like, that's because you didn't see the original anime version.
Yeah, well, and I saw them both. I think you just have to appreciate it for what it is and not try to compare it to the original manga or animation for that matter.
But I do think that's a future that they should lean into because, I mean, I went and saw Jujutsu Kaisen 0 in the theater, and I was like, damn, this does feel cinematic. It really did feel cinematic, and if that's the future, that's probably the only IP that's kind of left that they might have to go into that market to pull the shows that, the U.S. audiences might not have heard of, that they can do that because none of the other studios is giving Netflix any more stuff. Like, they're cutting them off. But do you think that's it? Like, could Netflix actually go under? Could they get blockbustered?
I think so. It'd be Revenge of the Blockbuster, right?
Yeah.
Which would be kind of righteous.
Well, none of the big streamers have gone under yet, right? So I don't think we're to the point where things are going to crash, but I think they can get absorbed.
Yeah.
They can get absorbed by other entities.
I mean, you have to realize Netflix is so lean, too, as a company, right? I mean, their employee number is teeny compared to their revenue. So they can act pretty lean, I think. So who knows? We'll see. It's got to work on their content, though.
They do have a huge library of content.
Yeah.
And they also distribute a lot of stuff, so I don't know.
And they have a lot of content that we would never watch, that a lot of people watch.
Yeah.
We would have never seen Squid Game, probably.
No. Oh, man. Squid
QB.
Game. QB, yes. QB, Tubi, like all these other like Pluto. I haven't jumped onto any of these.
Pluto's great. I love Pluto TV. You don't like Pluto?
No, I had never used it.
It's basically it's like a cable TV emulator. Basically,
love it.
So you put it on, like your screen on cable when you're on the guide.
Yep.
It's just that, and there's stuff playing all the time.
Oh, really?
And there's channels with the Three's Company channel. If you want to watch Three's Company for 7 hours,
man.
There's like Dog the Bounty Hunter channel, and they've got a movie channel, crime movies, horror movies. My only beef with Pluto, and if you're a Pluto watcher out there and you know this, you know what I mean. They need to book someone. They need to book an editor because the way they cut to commercials is really jarring.
Really?
It's just like really hard cuts to commercials in like places in the films where you shouldn't cut there. It's like the middle of a line.
Mike, you got to give your take on Pluto. I'm really curious. But what is do they license the content?
Well, it's essentially it's part of Viacom, so it's all their content.
Okay. No, they just rip it off of YouTube. Yeah. That's what everyone else does.
I was going to say, is it just the equivalent of playing like a pre-roll at Alamo? Or is this stuff that they're actually licensing for a certain number of times?
This is all Viacom stuff they own under their banner, and they just turn it into this cable TV emulator, and you can just watch. It's pretty good though. I enjoy it. Tubi is different. Tubi is just like on-demand stuff, but Pluto you can turn on if you just want to have the feeling. Like, to me, sometimes I like TV with ads. It's comforting. I can't explain it. It just feels normal to me. And it's like company in the room. It's like, oh, it's like my friend Hamburger Helper or something. But it's like, and Pluto does that. It just, they cut to commercials in a weird way.
But yeah, JJ said the commercials are like Randy Orton. They come out of nowhere.
100%. Check out Pluto. It's fun. It's a good app.
And it's free, right?
It's free.
Oh, wow.
So it's just the equivalent of Air TV, right? Like, this is like if you had an antenna, you can get free TV. That's
Exactly.
going to be that. Okay.
It's that. But they have hundreds of channels, and they've got a couple of wrestling channels. They got a AAA channel. They got an Impact channel.
Really?
Yeah. And then you get really deep, and they've got like Let's Storm the Capitol channel. But you got to go far.
So who's making these channels? Like who's curating the content?
Mike said it's run of network ad sales for Viacom.
Oh, wow.
He always knows what's up.
So they just have all their content and just like, let's just dump it here and put some ads here and just
see what happens. Yeah.
Oh, wow. So should I be paying for any kind of like YouTube TV streaming? Like, do you still need that?
I mean, if Jason's still on, he does not have any subs, and he's always texting me and he's watching. He's got all kinds of options. He's got Tubi, Pluto, YouTube. I mean, there's lots of free content out there with ads.
You just got to suffer through the ads.
Which that's where I draw the line. It's like, if I have the option of no ads, I'm gonna go no ads.
Yeah.
Even YouTube, I pay for the premium. So
Yeah, the ads like you said. If there's got to be. I just can't believe that ads are still being delivered in the same mannerisms. Like when you first started seeing product placement, I was like, this is it. This is like you're never gonna want to watch another commercial because you'd rather watch the character eat a freaking Dorito than watch somebody else talk about the Dorito, right?
I don't know. I kind of like Doritos commercials. They're usually pretty clever.
Well, yeah. Should there be a time limit? Should there be? I think there should be. Of course, I think there should be a lot of laws. I'm going to write some laws right here. Hollywood laws are coming up right now. No stinger. Law number 1: if you sign a series to be on your show and you decide to cancel it, it is a felony if you do not let the creators finish that show. Even if you say you're canceled, you got 2 hours, clean that shit up. If you don't do that, they can press charges.
I
Is that a
support
law?
that amendment.
Yeah.
Second.
There's so many shows that it's like...
We should vote on it. Let's have a runoff.
Yeah, let's do it. Law number 2. Commercials, you have 30 seconds. It's the elevator pitch, but a little bit more extended.
Is there longer commercials than that?
There is.
Where?
They're out there. Oh, should we cut it? I mean, I'm cool. If we want to go to 15 seconds, that's cool. It could be done in 15 seconds. Geico does. I don't know. I do remember on YouTube that's just like they had the 15 seconds, and I was like, wow, they squeezed in everything they needed in 15 seconds, and even called out that it only took us 15 seconds to do this. I want the equivalent of my commercial to be like you're driving along the highway and you look up at the billboard and says, "Do billboards work?" It just did. That's all. That's what I want my commercial to be.
I mean, I will say you bring up Geico. Some of the like insurance companies have some of the best commercials. State Farm with their whole, and then Progressive with the new, what's his name from 30 Rock and 9-9. He was
Chaos. No.
Yeah, Chaos, exactly. Like
he's
Liberty
good.
ones. Yeah.
Liberty.
Stuck in my head. I have Sling TV
Yeah.
and they play that one a lot.
Yeah, insurance. There could be a whole award show for insurance stuff.
And I would watch that.
and Doug.
Hey, real quick, we got a Primo beer on deck.
Oh yeah, let's do
get
that.
the
Sorry,
Primo
all
beer
right.
going. Wait, hold on. I just shift my thing. Cue that up. Put it in the close-up cam. Oh wait, do I need to switch this? Yes. No, it's all good.
Let's see if I can do this. All right, here we are. Next beer up. It's a little shiny.
This is okay. So this, I don't know where this is from. What's going on? Tried to get Primo to call in, but he's busy selling internet somewhere.
You know why you can't
Can you
see it?
can you read the label? Let's see, Matt. Well, let's give it to Matt.
You know why you can't read it? Because it's called Ghost.
Nice.
Yeah, it's called Ghost. Oh, there we go. So that does look like the ghost of Jar Jar
Dude,
Binks.
that's an awesome can right there.
Yeah, no,
That's
the
like a
can is
Skull
great.
King. That's a ghost. Let me
Yep.
look this up. Can you see any labels or tags?
I do right here. Parish. Brewed and canned. Geico also made a series of 15-second ads with 4-second value props to keep people from skipping. Yeah, see, that's the stuff. That's the way to go. Hold on, let me...
Ghost in the Machine.
Holy Ghost. It is called Holy Ghost. It is Parish Brewing, brewed and canned by Parish Brewing Company, Broussard, Louisiana. Did I say that right?
Yeah, this
Are
is
you from,
Parish,
Matt, where, are you from Louisiana?
No, I'm from
you-
Dallas.
Oh, okay. You didn't
Yeah,
live
way
there.
more boring.
Yeah, you didn't live there, though, right?
All right, so here we go. We got the Parish Brewery here
Yeah,
on deck.
Broussard. So it is a pint, and it is packing...
Is it Ghost in the Machine? No,
Holy
is it-
Ghost. It's Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost.
See, knowing Primo, this was probably some special thing that got released once.
Oh no, go up on the top right.
There it is.
There it is. That's it.
Holy Ghost.
Holy Ghost.
All right. Prepare to receive thine divine hoppy grace. Holy Ghost. Witness the powerful notes of intense, fresh tropical fruit. Grapefruit, black currant, and powerful darkness, brewed thick with
Darkness,
oodles of
everybody.
oats and raw wheat, and completely dry hopped to saturation with equal amounts. Nelson Sauvin, Galaxy, Citrus Syro, Holy Ghost is a mind melting 10%.
10%er.
Alcohol by volume encounter like none before. Whoa, Primo.
Literally double what our
Yeah.
last one was. More than double.
He was going to say, should we like genuflect or should we burn some incense or burn something else before we go? Let's get that holy pop.
Hold on one second. Let's get the screen going. Hold that up.
Oh, look at that. It's making
What's going? Are you in 3D right now?
It's making me
I
see
need to
double.
put my glasses on so I can see your face correctly.
It's making me see double.
Oh, my glasses.
Why are you wearing double glasses?
Oh, I put the real glasses over the gimmick glasses to read here. There we go. All right, here we go. Holy Ghost. Holy underwear.
All right.
Oh.
Good
Jesus
open.
Cristo. Here we go.
All right, pour that one evenly. That's a 10%er.
Yeah, that is thick.
That's thick, huh?
That is really thick.
Looks kind of unfiltered, too. Double hopped.
What is Nelson Sauvin?
Ha ha. Nelson. Oh, man, it's thick like OJ again.
Love it.
All right. So Matt, you're in the rear here. Mario's leading the
I'm
charge.
going to remind folks to like and subscribe for this kind of
Mario's
content
yours.
as you pass those out. Jeff, we didn't do a social media update this week.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if there was any good social medias, but we could bring them up later.
Yeah, we got I don't remember. We posted our Doctor Strange horror movie. We just got a little gift crazy, but there wasn't anything. Let's see. But first, let's drink the beers.
Very citrusy bouquet.
Yeah,
initial
you smell it,
smell.
right?
Smells tasty.
Smells like
boy,
brunch.
Like
we got another.
Yeah, like grapefruit.
Holy, that
kinda
looks like
thing.
it's thick. It looks like mead or wine or something.
It's mead.
Yum.
Yes, mead.
A beer was meant to be.
Pass me my mead.
All right, shout out to Primo. This for
Primo.
bringing this into the show all the way from Louisiana.
Primo.
Louisiana, Jesus.
Cheers.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, Mike. JJ, cheers. Here we go, Jace.
Yeah.
Wowza!
So it's not as heavy as I was expecting.
No,
It's
But it's got a punch.
yeah.
that's got
That's
the
a dick kicker.
great kick. That's a kick in the dick. We got to do the kick in the dick face. What?
Matt, let's hear your review. I know you're a beer
I
connoisseur.
mean, hold on, one more.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean I like it. The black currant definitely kind of is a nice undertone. It's got some bitterness, maybe a little pepper kind of to it, like star anise or something like that, a little bit in it. I don't know. I like it. It definitely would go really well for brunch on a good Sunday where you're going to be feeling really good by about 11:45.
Yeah, this is brunch beer.
Yeah, yeah.
And Mike said every time he sees a Nissan Z, he thinks of you.
Ooh, yeah. Well, there you go.
You still got the Z?
Still running good. So she is a garage queen these days.
Every time I hear a story about somebody getting attacked by a bunch of weird jumping spiders out of a car door, I think of you.
Yeah, that was actually the 200 SX. So 85 Texas jumping spiders. They are your friends, though. They like
are?
to eat black widows and brown recluse. So
Oh, good.
A
Yeah.
good spider to have around, and they're kind of cute. So,
And
you know.
but they just jump on you.
they jump. Yeah, they like little spring-loaded jump. Yeah,
Oh,
kind of
man.
cool bugs.
All right.
Here's a shoot. I remember when Matt started working back at the B2B company, and he used to show up in that. What was it, a 200 SX?
Yeah.
And I don't know what was the muffler was messed up because you had the gun safety safety earmuffs you'd wear.
Yeah, so my Z had broke, and I was still a good month away from finishing the 200. So I just slammed on it one weekend to get it roadworthy and just slapped together an exhaust, and the exhaust was hitting a part of the body, so the vibrations through the car stupid loud. So yeah, you'd kind of see me rolling up with big red earphones, no interior because I ripped the interior out because of said spiders. And yeah, I missed that car. It's been sitting in the garage on blocks for the last 6 years.
6 years?
Yeah,
Oh, man.
Yeah, maybe more. We won't go there.
How many cars do you have?
Oh, let's see. I got my Z. I got the 200. I got a Miata. I got my Pathfinder.
Oh, I remember the Miata.
I got an F-350.
Oh, wow.
And then my wife has a Civic. So 7 currently.
Oh, man.
You have 7 cars? Nobody has.
Yeah.
It's like you and Richie Rich.
Yeah. But none of them are new. And all except for my Pathfinder are paid for. So there you go. You know?
Actually, my stepdad has probably like 11. So
Yeah. Well, if they don't run and they're not registered and street worthy, does it count? Like, it's an asset.
does it have a title?
Yeah.
Then it's a car. I think
Yeah.
it's a car.
All right.
Yeah, but if it's in your driveway, you can sleep in it, so it should count as a room.
What about the backyard? I mean, I could rent that thing out as like an Airbnb.
Right, you should.
Put a little air mattress in there. $300 ACL weekend.
I feel like I saw somebody had like a car on like the middle of a road that they were renting out as like an Airbnb.
There's a dude in Austin, sadder story, but had like built like literally a house deck on top of his car. It actually was like, man, the thing's got siding on it and a roof, like kind of legit.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad.
$800 ACL weekend. Park it right downtown. Good to go.
Oh, all right. Here I go. This beer. I will give this beer a thumbs up, but it's packing a punch.
Yeah,
It's
strong.
packing a real punch.
No, this one has feelings.
Gives me feelings too. Thank you, beer.
Oh man, Primo's got some wild stuff.
Yeah.
It's a
Holy
sipping
Ghost.
beer. Sipping beer.
You can't get this anywhere. Wow. Love it. Okay. Do we have more topics?
Sorry,
What topics? What are topics?
I'm trying to.
What other topics we got?
I'm trying to gun the beer. Woof. All right, one more swig. Here we go.
Do we need to hear from Strohs before we go to the pro wrestling segment?
Well, no, we actually have a very special segment before we go to the wrestling segment that we want to do. Obviously, we have Matt here, who we decided was, at least to us, is a master fisherman, right? So we thought we would come up with a segment for Matt that we're going to call Name That Fish. Oh, Lee's in the house. Lee is in the house. Perfect timing. But I don't know if you know Matt, he's a master streamer. He's a master fisherman. But he slips into this mode, if you will. I don't know, like in pro wrestling and even with performing, we got gimmicks. We got stuff, but he goes to that place kind of like when Randy Orton hears voices in his head. They counsel him. They understand. They talk to him. So we're going to introduce a new comeback baiting. We have a character that we're going to call Matty Hooks. What was the third part? What was the third part? I lost it.
I'm mad at Hooksets.
Matty Hooksets. Matty Hooksets. That's it. Matty Hooksets is in the house.
I got my Zeb code. I got this guy lined up with some 65-pound monofluoro. Now I'm going to catch me some perch.
I think this is excellent. Has there ever been a fishing gimmick in wrestling?
No, there hasn't.
No one's ever just been like a good fisherman and that was their gimmick?
They had a hunter, they had an alligator skinner, but never a fisherman.
That's sad because, my fishing brethren would love some representation in the wrestling community.
I like the hood too. I mean, that is great. And I don't want to call it a gimmick because I think this is you, Matty Hookset. This is your life. I don't want to call your life a gimmick.
I show up to a fishing tournament and I put the fear of God in my competition. I go out there, Matty Hookset's coming through and ripping some lips. Ripping them lips off them bass.
Ripping lips. Man, ripping lips and grabbing hips. I don't know. Is that because you get all the fish chicks to the fishing.
I mean, you hook you a good catfish, man. That lady got some hips.
You ready to play some Name That Fish?
Yeah, are you
Matty
ready?
Hookset?
I know every fish in the seas, the rivers, the oceans.
Let me get all my gimmicks.
Whiz away, boys.
Let me get my gimmick stuff.
Matty Hookset knows them all.
All right, do we have a... Oh, there it is. I think I hear it.
Yeah, we got game show music.
All right, that's what we wanted. We wanted. Oh, JJ, man, I was thinking, I wanted to make sure that I had all the types of fish represented, and he called me. It's like, and remember, you're like, well, you got time, you should grab one more, but I would have grabbed one more, but I don't think Matty Hookset would have got this. But if Bobby Fish isn't one of the choices, what are we even doing?
I'm sad I didn't have time to make a name that fish graphic.
Yeah, we'll have another name fish. All right, so are you ready, Matty Hookset, for Name That Fish?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Here is the first fish up.
Ooh. See, I'm seeing some stripes on that fish there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a striped bass.
Striped bass. Let's see. The answer is... It's a mullet fish.
Oh, it's a mullet.
It's a mullet
yeah,
fish.
Yeah, that's a mullet. Yeah.
I am not the master fisherman, so I went with ones that had cool names or ones you might know, but I was like, yeah, mullet fish? That sounds good.
Mullet. I
is
had
a
a
mullet.
mullet back in the 80s.
All
but
right.
Ain't no fish.
That's obviously a mullet, but we'll just let that go.
We're going to let it go. All right. Here is fish number 2. Fish number 2. How much fish would Bobby Fish fry if Bobby Fish could fry fish? All right. If you do need a hint.
That, my friend, I know.
You do.
That's an inshore fish right there.
An inshore?
We go down to the coast here in Texas and we catch us up some red drum.
Oh, yes, he is
Yeah.
correct. A red drum.
Ooh, some big old
job.
bull-sized red drum. Redfish here, we call them in Texas.
Perfect. Matty hooks that.
Good on tacos, too.
Yeah. He got it. I was literally going to do the red rum. That's the only reason I got it, but I was going
no.
to call it red drum.
I know the red
All
drum.
right. All right, here we go. Here is fish number 3.
Dun, dun, dun. Nemo! I've been looking for him for a while.
Well, you found him. That's right, Nemo. He's right here in the Dose Incredibles network.
Yeah.
Redfish is good eating. Sorry, I can't do sea-based humor due to PTSD. Oh, no! Lee can't do sea-based humor due to PTSD resulting from his ex-wife giving him crabs. He can't even watch Aquaman anymore. That's got to see if that's
no
covered.
deadliest catch for him.
All right. No. Yeah, unfortunately, that was a deadly catch. All right. Here we go. Matty Hooksalot. Good job. You found Nemo. Which, do you know the scientific name of Nemo?
Nemo is a clown.
He is a clownfish.
Clowning
yeah.
around.
That means he tastes funny. Oh, yeah. Gato likes some clownfish. All right. Here is fish number 4.
Hit me. Fish. Oh, yeah. You stumped me.
No. You got this.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. I know you're a little younger than us, but what is
You
the
don't
name?
have to name everybody on screen, just the fish.
Just the fish.
Just the fish.
Yes.
I mean, it's like a mermaid movie or something. I don't know, boys.
All right.
I
The
don't
name
know.
of this fish is a fish called Wanda. It's just deep cut 80s movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, you're younger than
Kevin
my
Kline
gray
won
beard.
an Oscar for that movie. It's a classic.
It is a classic. All right. Thought I'd just swerve that one. That would have
Good
been
fishing
my
cinema. I got to check out this
fishing
weekend.
cinema. All right, here we go. Next fish coming up right now.
Ooh, that there you can find in the Amazon. You go down there and you find some crazy pink dolphins, but you also find a piranha.
Correct. The answer is piranha. That's right.
Dun,
Also
dun, dun.
based on the classic film where James Cameron directed the sequel to that, I believe.
He got fired from the sequel, but yes.
Yeah, he did get fired. That's right. All right, good job. You got the piranha. You
right.
just couldn't miss that smile. All right, you're doing really well.
I can get the real fish.
Yeah,
Is anybody keeping score?
yes. So he's doing really well.
I like that.
So
That's how I do.
Yeah, he actually got red rum, and he got Nemo. He missed the mullet, and he missed Wanda.
All right.
So yeah.
So I'm all tied up.
Yeah,
boys.
so he's good. All right, here is the next fish up.
That there is a catfish.
That's right.
And more specifically, I'm going to say that might be either a blue cat or a channel cat.
Oh, I didn't
Judges,
He's correct. It did have a color, but I just went with catfish.
Oh, catfish works. I like it.
All right, good job. I was going to do something with the MTV show, but then I was just like, really, no one knows that. But has anyone ever been catfished before or know anybody who's been catfished?
My mom almost got catfished once.
Man, no.
Yeah, no. She actually ended up getting more money out of him than she did.
Oh, really?
Other way around.
So she did the...
Is catfishing
reverse
a money gimmick?
It is a money gimmick.
Yeah, she sold her house.
Oh,
and
Rumblefish.
They came after her, and she said, "Oh,
God told me podcast.
Well, she's a cat. Of course
cats.
she's going to be fired up about fish. She loves
she
fish.
My
loves
cat is
fish.
fired up for naming that fish.
She just loves just living that Tom and Jerry life. Just like, I
Kitty
love
cat
fish. Matty Hooks, did you ever do the catfishing where you use your hand and you reach into the mud and you pull it out?
You mean noodling?
Yeah, noodling.
Noodling. Noodling? You know, back in the day, I go noodling up in the rivers in Oklahoma. But, you know, it's been a while since we come down to Texas.
Oh, okay.
But, yeah, noodling.
I just
Stick your hand in a hole and you don't know what it is.
Yeah, and it's just like, what? How is your arm not getting digested? What's the science behind that?
Oh, you know, they ain't got big old teeth or nothing. Just little teeny little ones. Don't even hurt you. But they clamp down on you. You get a big old 80, 100, 120-pound flathead. Pull you down and suffocate you underwater, son.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like they're big suckers, like, right? That got, like, monster suction, because they're at the bottom like freaking Hoover Vacs.
They're bottom feeders. They eat anything and everything.
They suck it up.
Yeah.
This is the multi-fish of madness, and you are doing fantastic. I think you only missed two, which, and one was a swerve. So
One was a swerve. I
One was
wasn't
a swerve.
expecting a mullet.
Yeah.
That's bait fish. That's not really fish.
Oh, that's bait
But we
fish.
won't go there.
Yeah, that's a different story. All right.
It's bait fish, Jeff. Why did you
Bait.
put it on there?
Go away, bait fishing. All right, here we go. Next fish up is a little bit of a swerve.
A swerve for me.
A little swerve.
So I'm telling you, I guess maybe we do have a little shark fisher representation in
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah,
And,
there it is.
there
You
we
got
go.
it. What? So you got? I'm gonna give him that one unless you want him to give the full name.
No, judges say that's good.
Yeah, that's good. That is Shark Boy. That's
Shark
right.
Boy.
Shark Boy is famous in Austin for suing Robert Rodriguez for making the adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl, but Shark Boy was around well before that movie was, so he actually sued him.
I imagine that did not turn out well for Shark Boy.
No, so well he got a little bit of a payday on that,
Ooh, good
and
for
he
Shark
actually
Boy.
got some work on Shark Week over it. So good on him, Shark Boy 24/7.
Yeah.
Mike knows. All right, that was a little bit of swerve, but you still pulled it off.
Cool.
Here is the next fish up in the multi-fish of madness.
There's a robot. That ain't no fish. Down Steven Spielberg made
We
that.
need the shark's name.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
need shark's
oh.
name.
I think I'll take the shark's name
I mean,
or the
it's
brain.
obviously from Jaws,
Right.
But the shark's name wasn't it like Ruby or something?
Close. You're very
Close.
close.
Yeah,
That is Bruce the shark.
Ruth.
Bruce. Yeah.
Bruce,
Who was actually
okay.
up in the museum. You know how the Academy actually now has basically a museum, the Museum of the Academy Awards. They hired Greg Nicotero to redo Bruce the Shark, and now Bruce the Shark is hanging in that museum.
Bruce.
Yeah.
Way to go, Bruce.
But we know it's based on a great white shark. So, but we're giving you that one, even though on the swerve you knew who it was.
And I will say that movie, my sharker friends, did bad for you.
Yeah.
Respect sharks out there, boys and girls.
Yeah.
They ain't gonna hurt you.
No.
They're just swimming around looking for something to eat,
Yeah.
like us all.
That's right. If they don't come to your house, you don't go to their house, and you won't have a problem. All right. We might have a couple of swerves, but I think we have a couple real fish in here. So here we go for the next
I like
fish. This is not a swerve. No swerves. I think you can get this one because I think I heard you say this earlier. I actually even heard you say it.
I love how you got drawings of fish, not the actual
This
photos
is
of
clip art, son. See, and so those patterns there kind of look like a smallmouth bass, or it could be a crappie. But crappies are more round, like a dinner plate. Smallmouth bass. That's what I'm going.
Going
with.
smallmouth.
I think it's wrong, but it's clip art, son.
Yeah,
that
it
ain't
is
no
clip
bad.
art.
You know.
All right, this is actually a grouper.
Grouper. See, See, grouper to me are a little fatter and taller.
Yeah, so that if we had an actual grouper picture, you
I would have got that. Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't think till you just said it this very second. I could have used a real picture of a real fish.
That might have been a little more helpful there. So grouper though, there's these groupers. They're called Goliath groupers. You ever seen them?
No, I have not.
Oh man, those things weigh near a ton. They're
Podcast
massive.
cameo right behind you.
Yeah, she loves the fish. She loves the fish segment.
She heard us talking about fish.
What's the history of the name? Do they hang out in groups?
No, Goliath, because they're so big.
Oh, okay, Goliath. All right.
But I was fishing one from a kayak once. About pulled me over 15 times, running me around
Really?
in the ocean. It was crazy, I say.
What was the weight on that? Did you pull it in?
That one was about 3,000 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Or so, give or take. It's a fisherman's tail.
It was
That's a big
that
fish.
big. It was a big fish. All right. Next one. I don't remember if this next one is gimmicked or not. We'll see. There we go.
Ooh. Them been swimming around at PetSmart and pet stores, I see. And I hear if you put two of them together, they fight real tough.
That's right.
That there, my friend, is a beta fish.
That is a beta fish, right? That is correct. Which is a new name because we grew up with and is that not like socially correct to call them that anymore? Siamese beta male fighters, which I thought was a really cool name. But I remember them as the Siamese fighting fish, where I never knew the history of what that name is. But then when I moved to Texas, like, no, that's a beta fish. Like, so which name is correct?
I mean, growing up, they were synonymous.
Yeah, they were.
You put two of them together, they're Siamese fighting fish.
Yeah, and they do fight to the death. Is that
Sadly,
is
I
accurate?
believe they do.
Oh man.
You're telling me these fish fight to the death under the water?
Yeah. That is.
Oh, for what?
Over
What are they fighting over?
Have you seen the cups they put them in? That ain't a lot of water to be
Yeah, that's
swimming
not
in.
a lot. Yeah.
I'd be fighting my roommate.
Is that right? It's just they're more of a territorial thing.
I believe so. I mean, the male beta's got something to make up for, I guess.
Yeah, I guess. We can't see under there. There's a lot of hair on top.
Shout out to Holy Ghost, which is
Holy Ghost.
a really good beer.
Yeah, it's
You know,
really
I
good.
usually drink that American beer, but this Holy Ghost,
Alpha-
it puts the Holy Ghost in you.
So Mike wants to put bets on them, and then Lee called them the Alpha Chadfish. But yeah, JJ also knows them as the fighting beta fish too. So I guess it was Sinma. All right, we got one more. This one, depending on your diet, is going to be my hint. This one could be tough. Ooh. Or it could be easy. Are we ready for the last fish?
Is
For
it
the
clip
last-
art?
It is not clip art.
Oh,
Here we
fancy.
go.
You got one shoot fish?
Here we go.
Oh, fish fillet. Some tartar sauce and a little cheese on there. Hot damn.
That's right. We got the world famous filet o fish. That is the fillet of fish, famous for Catholics on certain Fridays and just for people who just like to eat fast food fish.
I mean, you can't go wrong with a little fish on a sandwich.
Yeah, so that I think I'm gonna just say you passed the test.
Thank you, sirs. Thank you, sirs.
Because you got the gimmick. You got a couple gimmicked ones. You only got stumped on some of the clip art and a movie that's older than you.
The only test hard of that was my boating license.
What goes into getting that boater's license? You have to actually go out there with the DMV of the sea.
Well, step
they have
one,
a
you got
DMV of the
sober.
sea?
I got that wrong a couple times.
Oh.
But, you know, you go out there, you park your boat paralleling, you back in, you got to miss the cones. It's a whole rigmarole.
So you do, but you also just go out there in the big overalls if you need to, right? And just fish that way too?
With the waders, son.
Yeah.
Go out in the waders and that surf.
Just go out there and get it?
Just cast it on out and see what nibbles.
Oh, man.
Now, Jeff, tell him what he's won.
Ooh.
You won a beer. A beer from Primo. That's right. A world famous Primo beer. And yeah, there you go. There it is. Congratulations.
Primo, you always got the best beer, my friend.
But I think this is, while we're on the subject, I think we should all tell a tall tale about. We should all tell a fishing story.
Fishing stories are good.
I think
good campfire stories.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've told you this story before. Just like, I'll start with why Jaws is my favorite movie. You know, my dad I talked about this before. He was a shark fisherman. He goes sharking. He would go sharking in Montauk Point, and we had the teeth hanging on the wall. And I remember telling him, I was like, man, how did you catch a shark? Because he took me to see Jaws when I was like 5 years old. So I was just like, well, how did you not die? And he's like, well, I just stripped down to my underwear. I put I put my knife in the teeth, and I jumped in, and I just sawed his teeth out, and I swam out. And those teeth were hanging on the wall. And for the longest time, I was just like, just imagining some toothless shark swimming around Montauk Point. So he told me a tall tale way back then to the point where it still sticks with me. So I'd like to hear your tall tale. I'd like to hear a fishing tale.
Ooh, tall tale.
I mean, I remember a guy in high school told me he kicked a shark in the face. He said he was swimming on the beach and the shark came up to him and tried to attack him, and he just kicked him in the face, caught him with a side kick in the water, if you can imagine, like a jumping side kick underwater, and the shark ran off in fear.
That's all it took, right? Just that kick. He's like, oh shit, that guy knows karate. I can't bite him.
Here, Mike's got a story.
All right, let's hear it.
When I was 11 years old, I was in a fishing contest at a local pond stocked with catfish and sunfish. I had a good day and caught the biggest catfish. As a prize, I got to choose candy.
Candy's always a good prize.
Candy is always the good prize. So he selected Sunkissed fruit, gets a price of the over a box of Oreos, and I still regret it to this day.
Why did you go with fruit? That doesn't seem right.
Now, if it was the chewy, like the gummies, maybe. Man.
Maybe a fruit roll-up or something.
You know, I chose clip art because I thought the sight of actual fish might get Podcat fired up, but she's still fired up.
We just had to be talking about fish, and she said, ooh, there's my dinner.
She was like, you got your fishing rod there? And she's like, I guess I'm eating.
Yeah, eating good tonight, that kitty cat is.
So what's the big, have you gone sharking?
Sharking? I've done a little sharking in my day. I caught once a hammerhead shark.
You caught a hammerhead?
Hammerhead shark.
Wow.
It was this big. We did some surf casting, and we caught us a hammerhead shark.
Did you end up keeping it, or did you throw it back?
We decided to let Mr. Sharky go.
Yeah.
He might have been a little small.
Oh, okay. And they got to clean the ocean.
Yeah.
They keep it tight here. They're the sheriffs. They're the sheriffs of the sea.
Got to keep all them bait fish and mullets in check.
Go away, bait fishing. Is it true? Now, is it true if you know this? I don't know. I know you're an expert in fish, but maybe you know about mammals of the sea, too. Is it true that dolphins will fight sharks?
I've seen pods of dolphins protecting surfers from sharks before.
I've never seen it in a movie.
It should be in a movie.
I think we need a dolphin movie about dolphins fighting sharks.
Yeah.
Sharks have lasers on their heads, and the dolphins don't.
We're freaking lasers on their heads. Yeah, why wasn't that the West Side Story? I don't want to see the Sharks versus the Jets. I want to see the Sharks versus the Dolphins.
If sharks fight dolphins, truly they would have made a movie about it by now.
Supposedly they do. They will show them that. So I watched on National Geographic, and we talked about this before, right? You know, when we start talking about different species basically having their own Wi-Fi to communicate with each other. They showed a killer whale, an orca, if you will, go up to a bunch of boaters, and he had a great white shark flipped over upside down. And apparently they discovered that if you flip a shark upside down, it paralyzes them. Because they just eat the liver, like Hannibal Lecter. Like, we just want the liver, and that's all they want. But this shark was literally showing this group of boaters, like, look what I got. I mean, not the orca had the shark in the mouth and was showing. And the shark was just like dead, like laying there. And the orca's like, check this out. But the weird thing is,
y'all want some of this liver? It's real good.
But the crazy thing is, like they said, months later, they'd never seen that species do that before. But then orcas this was in the Pacific, orcas in the Atlantic were doing the same technique. So I think it basically like unlocking a skill, and then all species like, okay, cool, they figured out how to flip them, and now all orcas know how to flip sharks to eat the liver.
I mean,
I don't know if that's true.
That's real. That's a true story. I saw it on National Geographic.
Next thing, we're gonna be getting them orcas with gout.
Oh,
Too much liver. King's disease.
oh man. Yeah, Lee agrees. Dolphins are gangster.
Gangster.
If you stare a shark in the eyes, that'll back down. It's the same thing with bear, right?
You can't stare him in the eyes. They're on the side of his head. You can't make eye contact with a shark because he's looking in both directions.
So that could be dogs. What's the movie with? Oh, that was Leonardo DiCaprio in The Beach,
The beach.
right? Didn't he stab that shark in the neck when he went face to face with it?
I believe so.
Yeah, and there's been a lot of good shark movies, but unfortunately, they're horror movies. And like you were saying earlier, Matty Hooks, that it's kind of been bad PR for sharks that people will start killing sharks out of fear.
Right. And
Right.
we got big enough problems with our shark populations, and sharks. It's a very delicate ecosystem.
It is.
And you go messing with the predators, and well, get too many preys.
Oh man, nothing as scary as an octopus in a jar opening the jar to escape. Wasn't that
Because
in-
of the suction cups.
what that we just saw that was in? Was that in a show or was that in VHS?
The octopus teacher.
Yeah, the octopus was escaping something. I got to think of the show that was in.
Lee, the shark is all neck.
But you're right. It is a fragile ecosystem, and we need the sharks to keep the ocean in check, right? So I do agree that it's just they should leave them alone. But I'm still all for making great shark horror movies with sharks. Is like summer. That just smells of summer for me.
Oh yeah, everybody's gonna go get in the water.
Yeah.
Time to see a shark movie. And Shark Week's coming soon too, I think.
I love Shark Week.
Oh yeah, good entertainment there.
It is great. And actually, the first time I saw somebody get bit was last year's Shark. They, for whatever reason, decided to get the Jackass guys on there, and they try to recreate the Fonzie scene where they jump over the sharks with, on the water skis, and the way he landed, and the shark got him.
That
You
John
gotta
in
bite.
Knoxville is crazy.
Yeah, he got to get a deep to sea is the only requel I need. Deep
Was
to
it
sea.
was it Johnny or Steve-O that did that jump?
Oh no, it was one of the other dudes.
Oh,
It
one
was
of
the
the other
it was the
dudes.
blonde dude with the chipped tooth. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they now,
Mr. Poopy Pants or whatever.
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah,
Mr.
the OG jackasses are getting a little old for them stunts.
There was a lot of good. I mean, Shark Week aside, obviously that's great, real life IRL entertainment. But there's a lot of good cinema entertainment besides Jaws. I mean, The Shallows was fantastic. Mike wants to see Deep Number 2 Sea because he wants to see Deep Blue Sea. I thought that one was really good about the smart sharks.
Yeah.
And think about what Sharknado did for sci-fi. They just put the crazy movies that just became like weird, guilty pleasures that people would just like take an edible or drink a couple of beers and then just watch these crazy sci-fi movies.
Sharks and a tornado coming at you soon to town near you.
So you caught a hammerhead. To me, the hammerheads were, because they're not the most aggressive sharks. They just look badass, but it's
Yeah.
bull sharks that will fight you, right?
Yeah, bull sharks they'll come up to you and grab a little piece for a taste, but I think mainly with bull sharks they're just confused. They don't got good eyesight or nothing. They just think you a little seal or something like that. And come one little nibble.
So they just basically, if you just sit still and let them taste you, and then once they realize you're not food, then they swim away.
Well,
But you are
a shark
food, right?
Yeah, a shark grabbing you, and even if they don't want to eat you, a shark grabbing you, it's gonna be bad.
Are we going to take
gonna
our
be
chances
bad.
and try to let the shark decide if we're delicious or not?
Yeah, it's just like, because what if I am delicious? I don't know if I'm delicious.
I think I'm delicious. If a shark likes me or not, I don't know.
Oh yeah, was the Abyss? Was that psychedelic sharks?
I mean, if you watch it on drugs,
And then Mike,
it's got that sort of long tube. That Donnie Darko thing is in it. You know that long sort of like jelly tube
oh
guy.
yeah, the jelly tube guy. That was big, right? That was right before or after T2 when they had that coming out. But yeah, Jaws brought up tiger sharks too. That was a very famous scene when he's just like, "What kind of shark is that?" And Hooper's like, "Tiger shark." He had the pencil in his mouth, and guy's like, "Oh what?" But what are your guys' feelings on the Jaws sequels?
Let's see. I think Jaws 2 is pretty good. I'm good with Jaws 2. I think I appreciate it in the canon. Jaws 3 is a weird one because like they didn't shoot it right. Like the whole movie is not shot right because they tried to do it in 3D.
Yeah.
You know,
the
have you ever
3D.
tried to watch Jaws 3 on TV? It looks like a mess. Like, it looks like all mushy and stuff.
It does. And Dennis Quaid was coked out of his brains, is what he said.
They should have made the more interesting sequel, which that script is out there. If you can find it, it was called Jaws 3 People Zero. And Joe Dante was going to direct it.
What? No, I didn't see that.
Yeah, and then, so that was the original premise, but it was going to be a parody movie.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they could have went with that. And then what about Jaws 4, The Revenge? This time it's personal. Because the whole myth, and Matty, you can clear up this myth, the whole myth was sharks don't go swimming when the water is warm. Is that true?
I believe sharks live in the water, and therefore they're always swimming. So that sounds non-logical to me.
But it's just like, if this is too warm. I want to go live up north where it's a little cooler. I don't like it here in the Bahamas.
I mean, everybody's got to get their summer vacation in sometime.
Yeah. All I know is when I went to Key West, there were a lot of sharks in the water. Like, there's a lot of fish down there. I don't know if you've been fishing down in that area, but where there's fish, there's sharks. Like, we used to go blue fishing in Long Island, and that you'd go like 11 o'clock at night, because I guess that's when they were really active. But I thought my dad was kidding. He was just like, just don't pull up any sharks. And I'm like, what? He's like, well, bluefish, that's shark food. And I thought he was just trying to scare us, but apparently he wasn't kidding. It was just like, there's so many sharks. And this was just in Long Island. It's like, I got to be kidding me. Why is there so many sharks? I'm going in the cabin. I just saw Jaws again, man. I'm going in the cabin.
You're trying to fish, and you end up just feeding the sharks.
Yeah, exactly.
Lee says the writer of Jaws' biggest regret is writing that movie. Is that true? Is that a shoot?
Yeah, that is a shoot. What's his name? Carl?
I thought it was Peter Benchley.
Oh, Peter Benchley wrote the book, but Carl was the screenwriter. But yeah, they've actually started a foundation for shark preservation. After
Right, because people go out and murder sharks now because they're scared of them.
Well,
Jaws.
He's the Amber Heard of shark advocates.
It's the fins, people like that shark fin.
Man, it worked. It's just good horror movies. We love horror movies around here. Good horror movies is a way to tap into your primal fears, not the primal stuff that's deep in you, and the fear of the unknown is something that is like when I went to Hawaii and I jumped in the water and it was pretty deep when we were just swimming. It wasn't too deep. But when I turned and I just saw nothing but a giant blue abyss, of course my brain was like, shark. And I was like, I got to get the freak out of here. I was like, I swam to the boat as fast as I could. Like, why are you swimming back so fast? Like, oh, I just got a cramp. It was just like, no, this dude is scared. But that abyss was humbling. It was very humbling. And I think that poster really captured that, of just that humbling feeling of just like, hear your food, man.
Have you ever been scuba diving?
No, I can't do it. Yeah. It's probably that same feeling, I'm assuming.
I was scuba diving once on a drift dive, and I got almost blown into a cave with a nurse shark in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, nurse sharks, though, they're like the puppy dogs of the sharks, so I wasn't too scared, but it was a big one.
And what do you do? Like, did you punch it
You
in the
weren't
nose?
scared because the shark was nice?
She said hello and everything. I said she's a nurse. They're meant to take care of you.
Oh, she's yeah. You see people like you see kids that are like natives to that area where there's nurse sharks. They're like playing with them and like rolling around like they're like puppy dogs.
They just got little teeth on them, nothing too big.
Oh man, I just don't want to get. I got bitten in the nipple once by an unknown fish. It was an unknown fish assailant, and it bit me right in the freaking nipple. And ever since then, I was like, it didn't hurt, but I don't want to get bit. I just don't want to get tasted. It was like It's like, oh, is that a worm? It's like, that was my nipple fish.
I had the exact thing happen to me at Balmoral State Park when I was about 12 years old.
Really?
And I was swimming around, and sure enough, my nipple was bleeding.
It got bitten.
It got bit.
Do fishes have a nipple fetish?
I think they do. I think maybe they thought I was some fish food or something. They just see a little brown thing floating, It's like, oh, a little nipple.
It's like you're going to eat that. Are you going to eat that little worm stuck to your chest? I was like, that's my nipple, man.
That's a little parasite there, free-range parasite.
Oh, my God. No, I don't know. I just don't want to get bit. I just don't want to get bit by fish. And I do remember piranha was up there for me of just like, oh, so that's someplace you can never, because assuming I didn't want to go swimming in the ocean because that's where Jaws lived. I was like, but can you go swimming in the river? But then you're like, what if piranhas are there? They seemed like they were worse.
I mean, there's so many of them too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they literally, like, is it like when we used to go to this little pet store and they do the whole, so you might know. So there's piranha. Is there a type of fish called the Oscar?
Yeah.
Oscars.
Yeah.
And they're the same way, right? They would put pieces of meat in there and they would just like, and they would just clean its clock.
Oh, yeah. It'd be a big old just haze in the water for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
You know?
And they just bite so fast. Like, are those, I don't know where they're native to. Other than
South America.
Oh, it is South
Yeah.
America? Okay. So the same idea. But why are they in the mall? And why are they scaring? And why are they scaring kids? Because it scared the crap out of me.
I mean, their name's Oscar. You think they'd be a little friendly.
You know,
but,
they were
you
not.
know,
They were not friendly at all.
They seem a little grouchy, don't they?
They were Oscar the Grouch, deep cut, Sesame Street, deep cut. I was always, I'm a mark for sharks, just again because the whole history and living on Long Island, and the movie that was like my first summer blockbuster that I remember too. And I just remember in Long Island that Jaws fever. It was similar to before we had Star Wars, a movie that just took off so much. And then you're watching Saturday Night Live and everyone's like, land shark. And if you go back and watch, it's like, is it really that funny? But you were just laughing because it's just like, nuck, duck, nuck. Who is it? It's just like, hey, you that land shark? It's like, no, ma'am, I'm just a dolphin. And they open the door and then just eat them at your house. And I just thought, wow, that really did change cinema forever. Jaws. I mean, it sucked for sharks, IRL, but it was great for Hollywood.
You know, it sucked for sharks after Jaws, but nobody ever thinks about how bad it was for Satan after The Exorcist.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
He got a bad rap.
real
He
bad
did,
rap in
man.
that one.
And now everybody's like, oh, no Satan, no Satan. I mean, it's like no one's ever going to get over it.
No, that's still probably listed as the scariest movies of all. But I would say I'd be more scared of Jaws than of Satan. Uh-oh.
I mean, in my reality, being out on the water, I'm gonna come across shark a lot quicker than Satan. Hopefully.
Folks in the chat, what's scarier, Jaws or Satan?
Yeah, Jaws or Satan.
Well, which Satan are we talking about here? Because there's many different.
Yeah,
Satans.
there's different variations, right?
Yeah.
None of Beetlejuice, is he one?
He's some type of demon.
He's
Beetlejuice is a demon? I thought he was just a ghost.
He's the ghost with the most, but I think he's a demon.
I think he's a poltergeist.
A
right?
demon that's steaming? I don't. But I don't know. I thought he was related to, or at least maybe he was like a first cousin to Satan.
They related somehow down there in hell, you know, a little.
But it wasn't in the end
Not
though.
much
That
selection.
that demon wasn't the actual. That was like an African demon, right? That they showed in the
Pazuzu.
The Pazuzu. That was it. Oh man, Satan has never stolen a fish from me and made me cut my line. That sucks. So you got to compete with sharks for your fish?
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they'll chase them up.
Oh man.
Get you a big tuna on the line. You better hope you get it in quick before some sharks show up and take a big old chunk out of your lunch, dinner, breakfast.
And then you're like,
meal.
well, this one came pre-bit.
Pre-bit. It's pre-bled.
Your friends are like, I'm going to taste that fry and make sure it's not poisonous. Yeah, that's not. You're good. You should be good.
You're good.
They do that with that. Sharks do that with the tuna. Now, is it all sharks that do the straight up attack, air jaws, or is it just the great whites that do that?
I believe it's only the great whites to get airborne.
Yeah,
But
I don't remember. How come we didn't see this? Like, is this the Mandela effect with sharks? Like, how come I don't ever remember, or does just nobody ever recorded it? Did great white sharks always come from the deep like that, submerging from? Because we saw the Jaws poster, right, and it was coming straight up. But we didn't start seeing it till Shark Week, where we were seeing these breaches on the seals.
I have a Mandela effect about the Jaws movie because I thought there was way more than 4.
oh
There was. Oh, really?
I thought there was like 7 of them.
yeah. No, it's not Fast and the Furious. So
Yeah, Now there was rumors for the longest time about a prequel for Jaws called the USS Indianapolis, about the story about Quint. Oh, I should have worn my Jaws shirt. About Quint surviving, after he delivered the big one to Hiroshima bum. And then he had to stay in the water and, they'd be hooting and hollering. They were going to remake that movie.
Think about the shark, man. He's got lifeless eyes, like a doll's eyes.
Dead eyes. But I think that if they do that right, that's going to be good. But I don't want to see that one on Sci-Fi.
I only want to see it if it's the original dude that played Quint.
Yeah. Would they
CGI his face onto somebody?
De-age Robert Shaw?
Yeah, exactly.
He only made like one more movie after Jaws before he died. R.I.P. Robert Shaw. But man, he just made that movie. Well, let's go to chat. So we said Satan never stole one. Lucifer on Netflix did way more damage to Satan than The Exorcist. And Mike said Air Jaws has documentaries from the late 90s. So that's the earliest we can think of breaching sharks. But we can't think of in the 80s or the 70s any breaching sharks, can we? Did we discover a Mandela effect during Matty hooks a lot? No.
Matty hook sets.
Hook sets, not hooks a lot.
I do hook a
I
lot
like
of
big
fish.
hooks and I cannot lie.
I like big fish and I can't deny.
But I don't know. I think we discovered a possible Mandela effect with breaching great white sharks.
Well, I hear that's why they go after surfboarders sometimes, because they think they look like seals.
Oh, yeah.
And they've even documented that a big shark will be coming up like that at a surfer and realize at the last minute, that ain't no seal, and they'll just veer off.
Oh, man.
But the problem sharks, I hear, is the ones that get the taste for human blood. Because then they do seek out the humans.
Oh, then they do like the taste?
Yeah, in Australia, I hear that's a problem with the big ones.
Well, do you think that has something to do with overfishing? Then are like, well, I guess this is all we got?
Well, yeah, makes perfect sense, right? They ain't got nothing to eat. They got to eat something.
Man, Australia's a rough place to live.
Everything will kill you.
Everything will kill you.
Dude, it is. It's like Avatar over there.
Yeah, snakes and gators and sharks and
scorpions.
Oh
and
my
the
God.
little things too, they'll kill you. And spiders the size of dinner plates.
Oh, you don't want a spider the size of a dinner plate to be a jumping dinner plate spider.
If a little spider can jump a couple inches, what can a giant spider jump?
Oh my God, yeah.
I don't want to know.
It literally looked like a Roman Reigns spear. Spear! So it looks like 2001 Air Jaws Sharks of South Africa, Air Jaws 2 even higher in 2002. I think that's, I think we found a Mandela effect. Although Lee's got a new pitch for Sci-Fi. Sharknado 57, Satan Shark. What if you have a freaking shark that gets possessed by the freaking devil?
That's genius. Let's start writing it immediately.
Let's start writing that right now. Oh, yeah, I love Eight-Legged Freaks.
Does the shark have red eyes or something?
It has to have red eyes.
Red eyes, right?
What if
the shark throws up on a priest?
Yes. What if what if there's a baptism? All right, here we go. We're pitching a movie. Pitch, here we go. And scene. So what if there's a baptism that's taking place in one of those spots where the river connects to the ocean, and then the shark comes and he eats the person and the priest that's doing as the baptism happens, which is bad luck, which means it's a curse, which is almost like an anti-baptism. So instead of accepting the power of Jesus Christ, you just ate them, created an anti-baptism, and you just created the power of the devil. And then it swims in the ocean, and you got freaking Satan Shark.
I'd watch that in the movie right there for sure.
If a priest throws up on it. I think we got a pitch here. Can we tag Sci-Fi? Yeah, everybody on here right now and everybody in this room is perfect for this pitch. We just create Satan Shark. Satan Shark. Man, can you imagine? And you get like the Quint character is just like, he's the priest that is just like the only thing that he does is like he happens to be a big fisherman, and his freaking church is connected to the lighthouse, and he's actually the patron saint of fishermen, and he's just like, I'm here to bless the fishermen, and he's the one that has to go out there and help that other fisherman that's like the main fisherman for that village to hunt Satan Shark. He's
Plot twist. The preacher protagonist, maybe his family got killed by a Sharknado.
Yeah,
right. And he's got this long-standing vengeance against sharks.
I think that, yeah.
Something like
you
that.
You got to have a vengeance. You basically have to be scarred. You have to be scarred by the shark. Something happened when you were younger.
And as a fisherman, he's got a particular set of skills.
Oh, man.
Dude, Sci-Fi's calling right now.
Oh, they're calling?
Yep.
All right.
Tell him to talk to our people.
Are you going to let it go to voicemail?
No. Hello. Hello. Where's the phone? Hello, Sci-Fi. Yes, this is Dose Incredibles Network. How are you? So we have the pitch for you, and we already have the sequel. We're going to start it off with, well, we're going to tell you the sequel's name is going to be Satan Shark versus Jesus Gator. So you see where this is going. The priest is going to be played by none other than Nicolas Cage. All right, so we got this. This is perfect. So baptism goes wrong. Shark accidentally eats a priest, and somebody being baptized him, instead of taking the power of Jesus Christ, they take the power of Satan. It becomes possessed, and it actually starts to affect the ecosystem. So we have to get somebody that works with the Geographical Institute. We have to get a priest who actually has a church at the bottom of a lighthouse. And then we have to get the local fisherman who doesn't want to fish anymore because he lost a friend at sea and he chose to fish. And they got to go find Satan Shark. It's basically Jaws meets The Exorcism. Boom, $1 million. Answering the phone like Marty in Back to the Future. Yeah, I just got the you're fired text. I'm sorry, the you're tired fax. Oh man, I don't know, guys. I think this is a great pitch. I can
Satan
see
Shark is a great pitch that someone's got to make that. If not, we
Satan-
should start shooting it now.
Solid.
Satan Shark, and we got so you got a priest, and then you got somebody that's trying to stop this. You know, he's got to be an atheist because the whole time you're going to be dueling, he's going to be dueling with the priest. You're going to have that Quint Hooper dynamic, the person that worked for the Oceanographic Institute, and the priest are going to be dueling of just like having battles of faith. So instead of just like the show me the way to go home scene and I got that beat, they're going to be talking about faith versus science. Oh my God, this is going to make so much money. You know what Hollywood's going to say? We love it. We're never going to call you again because you suck. But this is a great idea.
Coming to theaters next year.
But Sci-Fi might do
Devil
this.
Shark.
Sci-Fi might do this. Satan Shark.
Followed by the sequel, Atheist Shark.
Atheist Shark. All right. I have to take a small break. I think I got
All right, let's do a
lightheaded
quick
on that
be right
pitch.
back. What do you think?
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Thank you, Matty. Hook set.
Matty hooks it. Thanks you boys for having me on the show, and I can't wait to come and bring some fish, maybe a little mullet next time.
Yeah, that'd be
we'll
great.
See.
Yeah, fish tacos. Let's do it. All right. BRB.
the next big league pitcher. And loves to serve fire-brewed Strohs. See what I mean? That was his fastball. That was the curve. Look out. Wild pitch.
What was that?
Relief pitcher.
Strohs and Stroh Light, fire brewed for smoother tasting.
You've got a thirst to win. Only one soda gives you that extra oomph you need to be your best. Oomph Cola, packed with ginseng, taurine, and Pop Rocks. With the power of Pop Rocks and Cola combined, your stomach lining will be ripped apart by tiny pockets of carbon dioxide. But not before Sweet Victory, Oomph Cola, and Pop Rocks. The deadly soft drink with a taste that's fantastic.
It's getting rough. What's our position? We're in the Bermuda Triangle, Captain. Roger. What the? Look! The cargo! I don't believe it. We've flown the Triangle before. Yeah, but never with Strohs.
Strohs is fire brewed. Did you know this? Now you're talking good times. Now you're talking Strohs.
Strohs is so fire brewed that pilots can drink it. Hopefully after they land the plane. Although these planes pretty much land themselves these days. All right, we're back. We are all lucha'd up because we got a couple of wrestling segments we got to go over before we go up. So we wanted to thank Matty Hookset, but we have a new character here called Matty the Mask. He's in the house.
Matty the Mask is
Matty
back.
the Mask is back. He likes to swim there, but we're gonna go over a couple things. Two big.
What is happening in professional wrestling?
Yes, what is happening in professional wrestling? So the first thing that happened in professional wrestling that sticks in my brain is the long-awaited debut of the very evil Danhausen. Yes, making his debut in front of a hot crowd in Long Island, New York, and was super over, had a great entrance, great the Munsters vibe on his music, everything was hitting, and he was kind of squashed. And I think you were okay with it. I wasn't okay with it. Something just didn't sit right with me about this. Yeah, we're going to go over that too, Mike. We got Sascha and Naomi as well. But I wanted to get this Danhausen thing out just because it just hasn't been sitting right with me. I guess because, to me, Tony Nese, being from Long Island, and you can tell, the ref should have called an audible because there's just like, oh, wow, he's in Long Island, but he's not getting any response. He's not getting heat, but he's not like he's a Long Island guy. And they kind of used Danhausen being over to try to put that heat on Tony Nese, but I don't feel like it necessarily worked.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it didn't work out for Tony Nese. I don't see this in any way reflect Danhausen in a bad way.
No, it's not going to hurt him, I don't think.
I mean, I get how, definitely from a Tony Nese perspective, but let's face it, Tony Nese right now is kind of a boring gimmick.
Yeah.
He doesn't have a lot. His physique is outstanding.
Yeah.
But he kind of looks like, Tony who works at Radio Shack, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. And like under the shirt, he just, you know what I mean? He works out, but he works at Radio Shack. He doesn't really have a gimmick. He's got like a John Cena type face where he could be a pro wrestler or an Applebee's manager.
Either way, he probably lives in his mom's basement.
Yeah, and Matt, you're not an avid watcher, and we showed you the match, and you're like, oh wow, that guy actually, he looks like he's the wrestler compared, but Danhausen looked obviously way more colorful, right? So
right, more colorful, but definitely looked like maybe a little too many beers on the weekend there. Yeah, I don't know.
Look, Tony needs no one. His gimmick is real because he's a premier athlete, and clearly he's a premier athlete. And I think Tony Khan was trying to get the Danhausen rub to try to get some heat on Tony Nese, and I just don't think it worked. I think he needs to be repackaged to the point where I don't think it's going to hurt Danhausen at all, But I think it's going to hurt Tony Nese at all because all it did, it gave him channel changing heat. Like, why would you do that to this guy that's so... And it didn't matter because they still did what they really wanted to accomplish. They set up the Hookhausen shirt. Now, Hook got that pop like, wow, he is like mega over. So when he came out, people, that crowd came to life. But I just don't think it just worked. I don't know. Mike says, I think they missed a chance to show Danhausen can go over on Muscleheads. I don't know what they're... And here's the only thing that I think may have happened is maybe Danhausen is still a little bit hurt, and they just kind of rushed this to actually go in there. Because you notice he didn't really do anything. He didn't even take a bump. He took a couple of shots, but he didn't take a bump. Maybe this is a shoot, like we want to get you in the ring, but you're not ready for a match yet.
I think maybe you save that, right? You say when Danhausen finally, because we don't know what Danhausen's powers are.
No,
we don't know what his moves are. When that finally breaks and we get to see that, it's going to be huge. So I'm okay. Stretch it out a little bit, build it up a little bit. We know eventually Danhausen's going to beat someone, but like it's okay. I was okay with it. I was fine with it. And the thing is like Danhausen being sort of a comedy gimmick, I feel like it makes it more acceptable for him to get squashed immediately. It's funny.
Yeah, it's not gonna hurt. It's definitely not gonna hurt him. If he's still very nice, yeah, that's still. I don't think it's gonna hurt him, but I feel like that crowd was too hot. I'd rather have seen the exact scenario play out, but the bell never rang. What if they just did that? What if the bell never rang? And he's like, I'm a premier athlete, and you're putting me with this painted up clown. No, I'm just gonna knock him the F out. No match, and just leave him laying and then walk out and flip him off. I think that would have got Tony Nese more heat.
Yeah, I can see that.
I would have. I think he needs to bring out a jar of his teeth. Again, but Tony Nese, he still has that 205 vibe, right? The 205 live vibe.
Well, he was a 205 guy.
Yeah, he was a 205 guy, and he's a Long Island guy. It's just like he should have been way more over than he was. That crowd had no reaction. They had a Baron Corbin old Baron Corbin. Apparently, Happy Corbin everyone's okay with, but Baron Corbin, that no reaction just sucks, and he shouldn't have. Maybe they just make him like an action figure character. Like maybe just literally like paint lines in there for him. Something. I just don't think Premier Athlete is just like, yeah, I mean, this dude might be a UFC fighter. I don't know, but I just want him to be a little bit more... I'd love to hear Jim Cornette's take on Tony Nese. I'd love to hear that.
Is it out yet?
No, I don't think. Well, if it's out, I haven't seen it yet. But I'd love to get his take because he's another one that's just like, I don't care. Can you work? This isn't about strength. This is about technique. This is about finesse. And this is about getting over and connecting with the crowd. And Tony Nese, he's over. Obviously, he has a great look. He can work. It has nothing to do, but just like, he's not connecting. If you don't connect with your hometown audience, who are you going to connect with?
Are we going to get Hookhausen at Double or Nothing?
Yeah. I think we're going to get Hookhausen. I feel like they're really good. That slow burn with Hook, I don't know if it's intentional or on purpose, but it's working because every time, that guy just seems more over every time he comes out. And I think they are going to make they have to have some kind of showing at Double or Nothing. I eventually can see them with the tag belts. I think they can easily carry the tag belts. I think once that actually happens, it's going to get over huge. And because they're already setting up for Jurassic having some kind of breakup, and that belts are going to drop. They're going to have to drop it to heels, but whoever heels drop it, I hope Hookhausen is built up enough to the point now where they get a run with those belts and get them over. Because you said it, you nailed. Or maybe Mike said it. One of you said it, that they had... AEW has a problem of waiting too long to put their over guys, the belts on their over guys. Was that you?
100%, yeah.
Yeah, I think... So they need to get the tag belts on them. Just get the tag belts on them. Even whether it's a fluke win or whatever, just get the tag belts on them. Hookhausen versus Black Belt BCC feels immensely needed. Yeah, I think that would put Hook and Hausen over. Oh, and that would be crazy because Brian would kick the crap. out of Hausen's face, and I think that would win that respect. First we bleed together, then we drink together. So, but yeah, we'll do next week. We'll do a Double or Nothing preview. I forgot that's coming up quick, and that's on Memorial Day weekend. So I'm definitely going to be checking that out. That's coming out soon. But
hey, just wanted to throw in there, we got a new subscriber.
Oh, yeah.
So
nice.
New subscriber live. Thank you there.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
Shout out to new subscribers.
Yeah. Thank you. New subscribers.
Scarlett. I think we all know her.
Yeah.
If you're watching and you haven't subscribed, look at this little logo beneath you.
Yeah. Bang.
Just do
bang,
it. Just emulate this logo.
Click.
And it'll be good. And we can do more shows.
Click, click, click. Yeah. I feel like the live stuff, it's doing well. We're up and to the right. And that's the trajectory that we need to be in. The other big piece of pro wrestling drama that we could talk about, and I think everybody can associate with this, it's not necessarily just related to pro wrestling, but Sasha Banks and Naomi walked out. They literally threw their belts on Johnny Laurinaitis' desk and like, you guys don't respect the belts, you don't respect us, and they walked out. Like legit walked out. I think it's a shoot. A lot of people are wondering if it's a work because WWE put out a statement saying that there are performers and we wrote them scripts and they didn't perform, their duties. They can't just walk out on a job like that. So they made it seem like it was a shoot. What do you guys think? You think it's a work or you think it's a shoot?
Feels like a shoot to me.
Feels like a shoot, right?
Yeah, it's one of those things that can kind of go either way, right? And you can kind of just let it play itself out.
Vince is the master of that. He will turn, everyone still thinks the Montreal Screwjob could have been a work and only certain people knew, but it doesn't matter because eventually Vince turned it into the evil Vince McMahon character and he took a shoot and turned it into a work. I've told you this before, Mario. You get to the point where you work yourself up into a shoot. It's kind of like having that fake argument, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, are we really fighting? You worked yourself into a shoot. That's happened in a lot of matches. I think they'll work themselves into a shoot, but Sasha's walked out before.
Sasha has walked out before.
She has walked out before.
And she's in Star Wars, so I mean...
She's a freaking Mandalorian, man. She's a Mandalorian. And she was on the Stone Cold podcast, and Stone Cold also had a history of walking out. I'm not putting over Brock Lesnar. That doesn't make any sense. Bad creative. I need to leave. And look, we worked with a company that they would not take our good creative, and sometimes they run with the bad creative. Wouldn't it be nice and freeing to just say, screw it, I'm going to walk out, instead of just saying, well, we should just do the bad creative?
I'm going to walk out and make, Satan Shark?
Yes, yeah. We're leaving and we're making Satan Shark for sci-fi, man.
Wait, what about if Satan Shark spills a cup of coffee on their laptop?
Oh no!
Yeah, we've unfortunately we've all. You would love the freeing feeling of walking out, and look, I know these guys. It's very debatable because they are independent contractors that are not allowed to contract with anybody else. So they are locked in like employees, but their contracts as independent contractors, and they're basically, if they don't have creative control wording in their contract, you are at the mercy of bad or good creative. So what do you do? Because wrestling is a little bit different, right? Wrestling is not like these actors that'd be like, oh, I just play that on TV. Like Ric Flair says, I'm freaking Ric Flair 24/7, 365. So in a way, you're messing with my personal brand of who I am. Because people don't say, oh, that's not Sasha Banks. That's whatever her real name is. And no, they look at it they look at that stuff carries a little bit more weight because there's a gray area between what's a shoot and what's entertainment. And that's where that that simulated combat, if you will. So I'm all for him. I hope it's a shoot and I hope it walked out because, The Rock said this a long time ago. It's like, you guys are getting paid really well, and that could be a detriment to your personal brand. You need to have the courage to basically speak up and say, no, this doesn't work. That's the shits. I'm going to get out of here.
You think about it. The best paying jobs I've ever had have been the worst jobs I've ever had.
Yeah, it's the golden handcuffs, man. Yeah. It's just a good job will kill a great dream. Let me give you a few lists of names of people who did say, no, we're doing it this way. Roman Reigns, current Roman Reigns, head of the table. Stone Cold, CM Punk took his ball and went home for 7 years, 6 years, 7 years. He said, screw it, I'm not doing this stupid shit anymore. And he went home. I think they're all doing pretty well for themselves, yeah?
Yep.
I think you do need to have the courage. And Sasha said it on the Stone Cold podcast. It's like, I need to get out of that stage that say, look, thank you for, I'm no longer blessed to be here. Thank you. Thank you for the pizza. Thank you for the hot dog. You know what? I eat steak now. There's a new chapter. I'm not always going to be, thank you, sir. May I have another? Thank you, sir. May I have another? Sometimes you just got to walk out if the creative's the shits. And if they're going to keep hiring people that aren't former pro wrestlers like me, and you say, no, you don't have enough experience, you're going to hire a soap opera writer, and they're going to write stupid shit, and like, well, they're going to like it, and don't take it too serious, pal. It's just pro wrestling. No, it is serious. It is real to these people. If I can't suspend my belief, I'm not going to want to stay. And I applaud Sasha for what. And Naomi, that even took bigger she-balls, because she was the one that was going to go over. They were going to give her a shot at the title, and she stuck by her partner because like it doesn't really make any sense.
I mean, Mike called it right there. Sasha would be the hottest free agent in wrestling if they let her go. I think Naomi would also be a hot free agent.
Oh, yeah. They've been screwing her.
Yeah, I mean, Naomi's like so lovable. Like,
oh, my God.
She's like an underdog in a way, but she's awesome. She could go somewhere and be hot. I think the thing with WWE that makes everything so tricky is that they own the name. Sasha Banks leaves. She's no longer Sasha Banks. She's
Mercedes
Verando.
Yeah. Which I think that would be
that
fun.
name will get over.
Yeah.
Eventually, you just gotta set it up. Yeah.
I mean, do you think about Mox as Dean Ambrose anymore?
No. Dean Ambrose doesn't even exist.
Yeah, Dean Ambrose doesn't. He's not around anymore. So I think Sasha would have. She's that. If you watch if you watch her WWE Evil pay-per-view on Peacock, and you see her story of how she got into pro wrestling, she has a pretty passionate story, and I applaud her for just standing up to bad creative. I mean, they're victims of their own success because they don't even have to worry about ratings anymore. They just want to cram out a bunch of content, and that's all they care about. But man, I know all of us would feel great to be able to walk out on just bad creative if you had the ability to do so.
Thunder Rosa is currently in need of a huge rivalry.
Oh my God. Can you imagine Thunder Rosa versus Mercedes? I'm already calling her that. Or
even Naomi.
Naomi. She's like, how long have they been wasting her? She's so athletic and she's so over, and she found a way to just like, I love the glow gimmick. I love. Can you imagine
she went to AEW and let her do a spot fest over there? I mean, they're pretty open. They're pretty open about it over there. You know, she'd just go nuts.
Oh man,
just really showcase her athleticism. She'd be so over.
I just don't know. And here's the tricky part is for Naomi is obviously she's married to Uso, and my thing is like, why didn't you make her a heel anyway? Make her part of the bloodline since she's bloodline by marriage. And I think she could have been a part of that. But that's going to be tricky because now you have your husband that's part of a big storyline. But obviously Roman Reigns has some pull. So there's two different stories that are playing out by two different superstars walking out. And I think Sasha's walkout and Naomi's walkout are going to be handled completely different. And I don't know what's going to come of it. Like, are they going to be suspended? Like if we walked out on our jobs, I mean, we're done. But technically they're contractors, right? But they're not employees, but they don't get paid and treated like employees. So it's tricky. It's tricky business, man. Oh yeah, Ruby Riott. She's another one. Look how much she got over just by leaving. And well, I don't even remember what her actual. Oh yeah, it was. Now it's Ruby Soho. Ruby Soho is a way better name anyway, and they actually have the music to go with it. Yeah, and Charlotte is married to Andrade now. So, and I thought Charlotte had. I feel like I thought she had more stroke than maybe she actually does. Like she has all the stroke for her own character, and she can protect herself. I just don't know if she has the stroke to. There's the stroke that protects you, and then there's that click stroke that you protect other people too. Charlotte can protect herself. Sasha just wants that protect herself because the tag team belts, they're treated like garbage.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And
I think that. I thought that was a great team at WrestleMania when we saw Sasha, Naomi, and Bianca all with the belts. I was like, this is great. I like this as a faction. Let's do this.
That's a great faction.
WWE does have the tendency to just throw things away and not give them a chance to build. Whereas Tony Khan, I feel like, lets things build.
Vince is going to be part of my freaking Hollywood laws. Matty, you remember my Hollywood laws. That should be one of them. You're not allowed to end a story without giving a story a proper ending, or you're going to get it's a freaking felony. You're going to be fined. You're going to be fined.
I think that amendment has been fully ratified and
Yes.
implemented now. So, yeah.
I think that is one of the Hollywood laws because, I hate hanging chads. I hate them. Well, hanging chads from is that how you say it? Chads?
Shads.
Hanging shads. Yeah, I hate them. Just like, why are you leaving this stuff out there?
Getting eaten by all them sharks.
Are we supposed to forget that this stuff happened? I don't want to forget. If you're the novella that never ends, then don't just act like something didn't happen and just throw... If you wrote... I mean, you guys both worked in Hollywood. You understand. If you wrote a film and you wrote your own rule book, when you break the rules of your own rule book, your story falls apart.
Unless you're like M. Night and have a reason to do it, right?
Yeah. Maybe, right? But it's just like, but if it's part of the story that it falls apart and you're breaking some kind of fourth wall, but if you're just like, oh, remember that character? Oh, never mind. That character doesn't exist. Just forget it.
I think that show's called Lost.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And they were victims of their own success with that. Yeah. And they're like, oh, screw it. Well, we created these characters because we thought we had 6 seasons. Oh, never mind. Let's just kill them off and bury them, and we'll just give them a dumb storyline.
Unfortunately, it's just that short-sightedness.
Yeah.
Right?
I know it's just like, if it can do better, shouldn't you do better if it can be better?
Not if you're making money.
And that's the problem. I mean...
Money is the golden ticket. I don't know if you've heard this before.
I got a golden ticket.
You can take this money and trade it for other things you like homes and vacations and things like that of that nature. So people like money.
Yeah.
They like money, though.
I like money.
Almost as much as fish.
Oh, man. No, money. Fish is tender in certain spots, right? That's where you barter from. So, but those are the two big things for me for wrestling news. We got Double or Nothing coming up. We had Mission Pro just had a show last week. Shout out to our friends at Mission Pro. Don't forget to go to titlenetwork.net and check out their pay-per-view. Can't Stop Me Now.
We need to sponsor another show and go back to Conroe. I really enjoyed that.
I know. I really was just like, it was really good. And I was like, cool. I like this experience. Let's do it next time they go to Austin. But I don't think they're coming back here. I think they've been to San Antonio. But we just need to, I think we're down to do that. Because they're doing great stuff over there. Again, that's where you find the passion is still alive, and I hope that the talent there is making enough money that they can really just focus on that passion. And because once you get that money, it's hard to be like Sasha and hold on to that passion and say, you know what, screw it, I got Mandalorian money. I can tell you to screw off.
That last lineup looked so good. They had Delilah Doom was there, Willow Nightingale. I really wanted to go, but maybe the next one.
Yeah.
Let's get on the poster for the next one.
Yeah, we need to get on the poster. Mike said the golden rule will be a blank check. Whoever has the money makes the rules. And man, the rules are so dumb, though. Why are the rules so dumb? I was like, it's cool if you have the money and you want to make the ruls, but can you just do us a solid and not make them so stupid?
Yeah, we're trying to watch the show over here.
Yeah, just like again, we're the fans that are always going to be watching, and I guess if it really gets to the point where you really want to, if I can change, you can change. Anybody can change. Does that mean we got to change the streaming channel? Is that the only way that's going to stop? Do I need to turn off auto record on these shows because I'm getting counted as somebody's like, well, pal, this person's watching. Even if I don't watch, even if it takes me 10 minutes to watch a 3 hour and 10-minute show, it's like they get my credit. Yeah. What is the deal with ratings? Why did ratings die? When did Netflix cause this too? You guys, I mean, you're in the industry.
Well, streaming in general, ended ratings because now that things are streaming, it's not based on ad revenue; it's based on what you pay per month.
But here's the craziest shit, and it just hit me the other day. It's so freaking crazy, like the Nielsen ratings that everybody, marketing dollars lived and died by. It was still just an aggregate. It's just an average of whoever had these devices in their house. It's just like, so it's just a kind of a ballpark, right? Where now Everybody's got a freaking IP address. You literally can get the most precise ratings you've ever had in the history of the medium, but we're not going to tell you, dog.
But my privacy, bro.
But like, what? It's like they know. Is it a privacy thing?
Probably.
Because IP addresses do fall under the whole GDPR, that it is something, but you can get the most precise ratings you've ever gotten in the history of entertainment, but we're not going to tell you. But I guess but now is Netflix going to change this? Because Matty, you were saying that Netflix is thinking about throwing some ads in there.
Yeah, low tiers, they're going to put ads, and I think that's going to push a lot of people away. And even me, I asked, my wife, like, hey, are we watching Netflix stuff? Because after I'm done with the new season of Ozarks, I want to cancel it.
Yeah, it's done.
Just as a kind of
You're taking the stand. Yeah, you got to take the stand.
And Netflix will have dumb ads.
Yeah.
It'll be like Joe's Mattress Warehouse.
Well, and I saw something that a lot of the customers that they're losing right now are long-term subscribers that have been subscribers for, like myself, over a decade.
Back to the disc day. You got the disc in the mail, right?
Yeah. Oh,
absolutely, because you don't think about it, but Netflix is one of the more expensive streaming services.
May have not, shared them all over the college dorm room at the time, right? And sent them back after 15 people watched it,
but they're in a way that's what was part of their charm, and they were already making so much money.
Yeah.
Like what
Again,
changed?
Cutting off their legs before they've even really ran.
Yeah.
Right? I think in losing those active monthly subscribers, what are you really winning by cracking down on password sharing and implementing ads? In the fact that I think it really has created such a groundswell of people just wanting to say, you know what, Netflix, I'm out. Peace.
They're gonna bug when they realize that half of their viewers don't have a account.
Yeah,
it's a shared password.
And now, how do you attract marketers that want to put it? Are you basically going to be sticking a sock in your boxers and just say, "Well, we can't give you the numbers, but we're Netflix. Hey, we're Netflix. Hey, hey."
Have you seen BoJack yet?
Right. So I don't know how do they justify that? Mike says Nielsen's still out there. They sell all that data now. No more free trial for the world. I don't know, man. But going back to the whole Vince thing, he's a victim of that too. He's a victim of that too. That Peacock, he's got that Peacock money. He's got that Fox money. That's why he got away from even pay-per-views. Like, who cares? You know who we are, and they're a brand that's not gonna. But I don't know. It just comes back to. But if you can make it good, shouldn't you?
No.
I mean, you got your talent. I mean, look, and a shout out to our friend of the show, Dave LaGreca. We met him at the sponsored show, speaking of that. But if you listen to him and Bully Ray break down, they are better than any analyst on just like any other sport. That's like the equivalent of the NFL channel. They're so good at breaking it down. And Bully Ray, breaking down the stuff that happened with Sascha and Naomi and why Vince is doing some of the creative he's doing. If there was an award, he should be winning it. It's that good. So you have all this former talent that you got over. That you got the Mick Foleys and Stone Cold. That's like, well, that's stupid shit. Why are you doing that? You got these guys telling you that, and you're still like, now. We got this. Don't worry. We got this idea. Hey, we'll just pull toilet water on it. And just like, it's good because it's content, because that's all we care about. And now it's coming down to...
wonder later, why does it smell like toilet water?
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, well, it's got hashtags. People are talking about it. That's all they care about now, right? That's more important, is the social chatter. Even if it's bad or it's good, people are talking about it. And then you got the Andrew Dice Clay. He's like, hey, I couldn't get better press if I wrapped my dick around the mic stand. Oh, just like you're just talking about it. And that's all they care about. And it's just make it good. That's all we want. That's it. End of rant.
That's fair.
This rant was brought to you by Goober Grape. When you can't make your mind up between peanut butter and jelly, why not both? All right.
All right, let's do a quick break and then let's wrap out of here. What do you think?
Let's do it. I'm hungry. Let's do it.
Hold on, I can't find the button.
Oh, button. Who's got the button?
All right, we'll be right back.
Fury.
I don't know what to do.
What would you do if you were me? America's got this beer. It's called Stroh's Light. And it's fire brewed. You know, it's not like any other beer. So I call the State Department and say, let's make a trade. Our cigars for your Stroh's Light. They say, Fidel, you're going to have to forget about it.
It's not the same as other lights. It's fire-brewed Stroh's Light.
We're only 90 miles away. We can't even get a decent beer.
Got that porn music going? Because that's right. Because it's about to get on with some food. We're going to get some food. But yeah, thank you guys for joining us. It was a good show. It was fun. There was a lot of rants. We had a lot of characters. We had a lot of rants. So thank you, Matt and Matt Uteri, for bringing all your friends with you. Matty Hooks, Matty Masks, all
Matt,
of the Matts.
you should wear your hair down more. That looks awesome.
All of my split personalities.
Yeah, can you give us a couple of facial expressions so we can have some thumbnails with that baller background?
Smile, like look happy. This is a great show. We're having a great time.
Yeah.
Thank you. Oh yeah, we love you, Algorithm.
What about
Please, AI, accept us.
What about I once caught a fish this big?
I once caught a fish this big.
There you go. All right, cool. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and we will be back next week for another house show live. But until then, Chewy, get us out of here.